Okay, it is after 1 o'clock, so I'm gonna resume the meeting here. We have a discussion decision, battery energy storage joint development agreement with Alliant Energy or other possible options. Got a few here with Alliant, present with us, and, I know you guys have proposed a joint development agreement, and we have been advised by our county attorney. I spoke with you, Amanda,
Yes.
about this. We have an attorney's opinion that it wouldn't be wise in our situation legally to sign that, being the Board of Adjustment has already denied your permit. We'd be happy to get you a copy of that opinion, the written opinion. And I didn't know if you had any other comments or things you wanted to talk about in regards to that, but that's where we sit as a board. Yeah.
Yeah, I would say, staying here.
You
Yeah,
can
so-
stand there, it's
Yeah,
fine.
yeah, absolutely, so yeah, thank you again for obviously, hearing our thoughts and like I said, sharing that with, the county attorney, right, obviously we'll, obviously be looking out for the formal written, proof that I believe right from our understanding from our conversation, it sounded like the recommendation was primarily a deferral to the Board of Adjustments in that process, is that accurate?
Cause the Board of Supervisors drafts the zoning ordinance, and outlined in the zoning ordinance, it defers that authority to the Board of Adjustment, then that makes that decision, and so, we'd be conflicting legally if we would go and join into something with you when another entity that we've approved to make those decisions had an opposing decision, so that's the conflict there.
No,
Yeah.
okay, understood, yeah. I thought, I just kind of reiterate, I think, what we primarily took away from that meeting with the Board of Adjustments for our permit, application was a lack of guidance from the Board of Supervisors, or I guess maybe the county zoning ordinance as a whole on how to maybe approach a project of our type. They seemed to feel like they were a little bit unprepared to make an informed decision. So that'd be one question we have for the Board of Supervisors today is, how can we, working with you through, forms of education or whatever it is that you feel would be most appropriate, help gain some of that potential guidance if we were, as it sounds, right, able to, reapply or appeal to that Board of Adjustments group, like we said, that has that permitting authority in this county.
How to educate us, is that,
I think what we're looking for is when we went to the Board of Adjustments, it wasn't you failed the 6 questions, the answer is no. What we heard from the Board of Adjustments was, we're not sure, and I don't wanna put words in their mouth, we're not sure how to move forward with something like this, and we need guidance from the county. So because we need guidance from the county, what we heard the board say was that we didn't wanna table it, so we're gonna deny it. Right, so where we then came forward and said, well, maybe one way we could provide some guidance and some clarity and set expectations was with a joint development agreement. We've done that successfully with many other communities across the state of Iowa and over in Wisconsin as well. Whether or not we execute the joint development agreement with you, or we bring that back to the Board of Adjustment as, here are expectations that you can set that are best business practices, best practices that other communities have agreed upon, and that we heard from the board. If you're looking for guidance from the board reviewed this and said something like this would help them feel comfortable, then Board of Adjustment, now you can do your test. If that's the sort of guidance that the Board of Adjustment needs, we're just trying to help figure out how we can work together on a partnership like this. As we've continued to look forward on the power grid in general, and speaking with all the other providers in the area, Dairyland, Sitco, Corn Belt, and everybody else, these batteries are becoming incredibly important. And in fact, part of what these batteries bring to the table is kind of a black start ability, so that when a grid goes down, we're counting on batteries like this to be able to bring the grid up. And while we've talked in the past about the wind farm being Alliant Energy and it's for Alliant Energy customers, and I know that there aren't a lot of Alliant Energy customers in Kossuth County, a battery like this serving the grid benefits all customers, all electric users, whether they're REC, Muni, Alliant Energy or not, because it's helping support the overall grid. And so we're trying to figure out, how do we come back to the county here and say, we're here to help. We want to, we are open to doing whatever it needs, but we just need to help understand, and we need folks to work together.
Yeah, and I appreciate and understand the sentiment walking away from the Board of Adjustment meeting thinking they wanted further direction from us, which they certainly could have. I think there was confusion at that meeting too of how things could be decided. You know, if they were wanting direction from us, it probably could have been tabled in that occasion and had a meeting at a later date, and we could have had those conversations. But how it all ended was they did deny the permit, so here we sit. What's the next step forward? That's what you're wanting to know. The next step forward is not us joining in a joint development agreement with you, I guess, is per today's agenda item. So beyond that, I guess maybe my recommendation, and maybe if the board is something different, or our county attorney Todd Holmes here is present, the recommendation would be, is there another way to seek appealing or a change of decision from the Board of Adjustment? I don't know if there is or not. I'm not gonna advise you one way or the other on
Right,
that.
and,
Yeah.
and I'm not either. As it sits right now, there was a denial. For whatever reason, that was what was entered. That's a final order or final decision by the Board of Adjustments, which is basically a quasi-judicial ruling which can be appealed. There's provisions in the code under Chapter 335 to provide for that. You know, one of the ways would be to do, when was the, November 4th?
Yeah, November 4th.
Okay, so, you know, you have, you've passed on the window as far as the writ of certiorari, but I believe that there's still the ability to appeal that decision. But looking at it from the standpoint of the Board of Supervisors, you know, I don't think that they're in any way saying that they don't, you know, are not interested in doing something with you, but at this point in time, they're gonna have to defer, because it is not, according to the Board of Adjustments, a lawful use of the property as it is right now. So from the standpoint of the Board of Supervisors, it's, you know, you'll have to do what you need to do in order to get that either appealed, or if there's any ability to reapply or whatever, you'll need to go through that process before then bringing it back to the board for their decision on that joint agreement. If that makes sense. I mean, I don't see the board being able to advise the Board of Adjustments, because they're separate entities as far as the code provides for, you know, who gets what in the zoning ordinance.
Okay, so if we're hearing it correctly, we need to work with you to work through an appeal, right, of that. And then we can work with the Board of Adjustments to determine, you know, what information that they need. I don't know if you had a different takeaway from that meeting in November than what we presented. I don't wanna present anything inaccurately.
No.
And I also, though, don't wanna be moving down a path where we're assuming one thing and it's the exact opposite.
Yeah. No, from that meeting, it kinda sound like, you know, again, they were unaware of a lot of situations, what you guys were trying to do, but on the same token, they really weren't wanting, I should say, or not really agreeing with having that up there. Kinda how I took it.
Okay, so if it's not allowed from the zoning, and if they don't, right, so then I guess the request is if we needed to, would there be any appetite to creating an ordinance to allow something like this? Part of again, the push here we have is the other utility companies as well, the other electric providers here in the community, understand the benefits of these, and especially this installation. And so it is kind of a joint unified approach to try and move something through. So I guess, let me table this discussion for a second, and then we would ask the county on what the thoughts would be on creating an ordinance to allow that.
Can we talk about that? Is that?
Well, it says
It says
other
possible
possible
other
options,
options,
so-
and
Never mind.
could probably fall under that.
Yeah, I think our agenda item is broad enough that we could loosely discuss some things. I think there's a couple important considerations when it comes to ordinances, and they're used in multiple ways. You've got lots of avenues or aspects to it. But one thing that I thought was a fairly simple request from myself at our last discussion about this was working with the neighbors and people that were concerned at that last Board of Adjustment meeting. One of them is here today, and I've had a conversation with him recently, and one of the questions I asked him was he contacted since our last discussion, and the answer was no. So, from a community-minded aspect and community relations standpoint, I have not seen that bar met. So, I guess regardless of any ordinance, I would challenge you to meet that bar. I don't think we or anybody else should have unrealistic expectations on any category. I'm not saying this is anti-business or anything else, but some adult professional conversations should be well within the scope of normal business. So I guess that would be the first statement that I would make.
My only statement would be that we have a Board of Adjustment for a reason, and I do feel we need to respect them and their position, that they have taken, and not just try and go about things always a different way to try and overrule that. You know, we have, citizens on that board that are very conscientious and, business-minded, and I just think that they made that decision for a reason, and sometimes we just have to honor that.
Okay.
That's me, myself, and I talking, so.
I would choose to remain stupid, I guess.
You don't have, that's okay, but if you don't have an opinion.
Well, I do have an opinion, you always got to, you know, I'm not fully informed on what the Board of Adjustment thought or didn't think, and I wasn't there, I'm sorry about that. To say, you know, that, I've heard several times that, and I'm not trying to alienate them either, but not sure what was on the Board of Supervisors' mind. Well, they were the decisioning body, you know, and I'm not sure they should have deferred to us or not, I don't know. All that being said, my apologies, you know, it's gotta be tried somewhere, you know, it's gotta be done somewhere, and I don't wanna not do it just because not in my backyard type of thing, you know, so I'm not necessarily against the idea personally, I just, I don't see where it's up to us right now.
And it's not at the moment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I would agree with that as well. I think a potential compromise could be maybe a joint meeting with the Board of Supervisors and the Board of Adjustment, so we can have a thorough conversation with getting that discussion moving from all aspects and have everybody together, cause I think that's one of those things where whether it's information coming to us from you guys or anyone else, we're talking about what did the Board of Adjustment talk about, what are we talking about, and it's all two separate conversations. But yeah, I guess as far as our discussion for today, I think our county attorney's opinion is pretty clear that it really isn't in our wheelhouse to make a change that just overrides that decision today.
We don't have any authority over them, and they don't have any authority over us in that category. Yeah, but, I get a question for you, back at you is, I mean, do you have to build this in Kossuth County? I mean, do you have other options?
We've identified several spots across the state
Okay.
where, the grid needs this, and so we've identified several spots across the state where we can deploy these quickly. We're really looking to try and build this and put it in service by the end of 2026. That's what the grid is asking for. And so when we looked at stuff starting back in 2023 and 2024, right, this is an area we've gone through. Amanda and team have worked to get the state permit and the entire rigor that goes through that, and the state permit came back and said, yep, this is a good spot for it, it makes sense. They asked us what we've done with all neighboring landowners as well. The state permit said, yes, all of this makes sense. And so we're at a little bit of a standstill.
Okay. But that's, I don't know, I think we've given you as best as answers we can give today. If you wanna pursue other avenues, that's up to you. Yeah, I don't know what else to advise you today.
Nope, absolutely, no, again, we just, as always, appreciate your guys' time. Obviously, right, it sounds like if we could obviously get a copy of
Sure.
the written, reasoning from, I think it's Tommy, right, it was our, reasoning for, that deferral, and understand it seemed like, not gonna give any, general advice on, moving forward with, an appeal with, the Board of Adjustment, so obviously we can work with Corey and the zoning on what those next steps look like.
Yep.
Oh, I'm printing you a copy right now.
Okay.
Well,
Excellent, and I'll say, I
thanks.
appreciate the feedback as well, that you all have given, on your perspective, right, as, supervisors, and, members of the community on, the project and the proposal.
I have one follow-up question. If
Yeah.
we worked to get the Board of Adjustments and, both teams together, what kind of timeline does that look like for your team's availability, as well as how do we go to them and make that offer, so we're all on the same page?
I guess maybe we'd have to figure out first what we're offering or what we're meeting about, what the end result is going to be. And I don't have that answer right in the moment, but
Well, can they simply reapply to the
I don't-
Board of Adjustment?
I don't know. I mean, I would.
I don't either, I mean,
I will say that I'm not,
an
an
expert.
expert on the Board of Adjustments and the rules and regulations other than what is in chapter 335, and as it relates to the County Board of Supervisors, but, I believe that, a reapplication or reapplying is something that is possible, but there has to be some sort of change
Right.
in the project in order to justify that reapplying. So whatever change that would, and have to be something, in my opinion, has to be something that is a significant change, whether it be, size, scope, whatever. And to be honest with you, that is where we are at. Part of my advice to the board is, you can't do any type of agreement that would circumvent the board's ruling on the project as presented to the board. So, I believe there's gonna have to be some material change in the project to reapply. Or, again, talk to legal counsel and find out what are your appeal options. Because, there is that, this is a quasi judicial, which means that it's an administrative body issuing a final decision that's appealable to the court. And in that situation, if you went on appeal, or if that somehow changes the outcome of the Board of Adjustments, then I think it's right for the Board of Supervisors to look into it after that permit is approved. But as the agreement is written right now, it says, at least it was anticipating that you'll get permit approval. Well, now we know that that has not happened, that it is denied, it's not a lawful use of the property, so it would be, in essence, not in the County Board of Supervisors' best interest to sign that agreement as written. And that is my recommendation, that you defer until you guys work out the permit There, you know, I did advise that you could possibly conditionally approve based upon that. I mentioned that just because it was another option. I strongly advise of doing that. What you've decided today to defer your decision on this until after they've gotten their permit approval is my recommendation and the correct one. That has the minimal amount of risk involved. So, you know, do you have a lawyer on staff or
Yeah,
with a lawyer? Yeah. Talk to them about your appeal rights. If that should happen to be successful, then in that situation, that's, you know, a new beginning for then the board to consider the joint agreement. But until that time, I don't see that as being, you know, something that the board should even consider. And then also looking at from reapplying, you know, I don't know all of the rules that the Board of Adjustment has, but that's just in essence shooting from the hip. In a lot of situations like that, there's a requirement of a material change or some sort of circumstance that is different than when you apply it the first time. Because that prevents just a constant, every 90 days, you know, reapplying with the same information and expecting a different result. So I mean, that's what I can offer you. That's not advice, it's just what I believe is going to be required.
Okay. Well, thanks for coming in.
I did, yeah.
Thank you.
We
Have a
look
good-
forward to keeping our partnership with you guys, and I know, like I said, the other energy providers in the area are all watching this very carefully, so I appreciate it. Thank you.
Have a good day.
Yeah,
Oh.
it would probably be good to have something documented in our minutes of what we're doing here.
Decision to defer.
Yeah,
Is
Decision
that-
to defer because of our legal.
Based-
That's fine.
opinion on our attorney.
I mean,
Fine.
you have my written legal opinion, so you
Yeah.
have that. So.
Yeah, I'd make that
Okay.
motion to defer
Motion by Garmin to defer based on
on
legal
the
opinion
legal opinion, yeah.
by our county attorney,
by our county
and
attorney.
I would say.
Okay. Second.
Third
alright.
and fourth.
Discussion on the motion? If not, all in favor, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carried. Okay,
Did you want to have?
thanks for being in here, Todd.
Yeah, no problem.
Okay, we're gonna do Cory.
I know.
Is that right? Budget, yeah,
I've got.
I think.
That is?
Yeah. Yep, that's it, thanks. Okay, budget time. If everyone wants to get their budget sheets out. What do you wanna do first?
I wanna do the sanitarian.
Sanitarian,
Department
okay.
of Health, cause the other ones really haven't changed.
Okay,
They're-
And then
Yeah.
flip
Which
to
one we
the
gonna do?
sanitarian budget.
Alright.
Okay, and if you wanna, yeah, anything you wanna highlight as far as changes and important things to note?
So. There was a couple areas that I increased, and then there was I believe there was a couple that possibly decreased. But the overall, so the well grant,
Mm-hmm.
it was at 30,000, and I bumped that up to 35, which essentially are, the reason why I did that, it kind of limits what you can use of that, and I've already used I've got reimbursed for over that twice already. And our well grant actually, well, this year it was $45,454. Last year it was $50,505, and they're projecting next year to be back to our 50,000. That's why I did that.
Okay, it's from the state or,
Yes.
and why does it vary?
Well, somebody new took over that grant this year, and they didn't want to have it be short, so they lessened it by $5,000.
Every county?
Every county. Yep.
Okay,
So that dollar amount is for every county in the state. It gets the same amount of money.
okay,
And a huge majority of what I do as far as, like wall closings, wall reconstructions, trainings, meeting mileage, all that kind of stuff, all is reimbursed by this grant.
okay.
It's all paid back.
Yeah, and I saw your meeting mileage is one of those things that.
Yeah.
Up that, which is good, I'm glad that you're going to those things too.
I assume that's on the revenue side, but.
Yeah.
He's talking about the revenue side, yep, yep. Otherwise, pretty straightforward, yeah,
Yep.
okay.
Otherwise, everything's, I mean, kinda pretty much the same. There was, I think there was one that I lowered a little bit, but it's cause it wasn't used, so.
Sure, equipment, yeah.
I suppose we're not supposed to ask, but I'm still naive enough to ask. You go into a single health insurance approved from a family or?
Well, probably was,
Probably
cause Aaron was
because
on
Aaron-
last year.
No,
Okay.
yeah, that wasn't me, yeah.
Okay. Probably wasn't supposed to ask.
No, that's fine.
No, that's fine.
Okay, any other questions about sanitarium? Alright, do you wanna do weed eradication or planning and zoning?
Weed stayed the same, I didn't change anything in that.
Okay,
And zoning was the same except for, the publications. I raised that up a little bit because I was already over it.
okay,
Give me a second to join the crowd.
Yeah, I gotta get back to planning and zoning, I was looking at weed commissioner, food stuff.
Do you do anything with weed commissioner at all? Don't take that as anything.
No, it's, for the most part, it's, it ends up being landowners that might not get along
No doubt.
and call and complain to each other, about each other.
he's got thistles in his ditch,
Yeah,
yeah,
and, yeah.
It really kinda depends on the year and what situations come up and stuff, we did have a couple situations that were
what kind of weeds are growing?
substantial issues and they were discussed with us as a board multiple times in the progress updates because they were becoming more of a concern in the community than just
Mm-hmm,
a little patch of this or that here or there, so it does kind of vary based on what actually happens out there.
So P and Z then?
P and Z,
Wasn't this very earth shattering?
no,
Increased notices a little bit.
There
yeah,
was, two that were increased,
yeah,
and then the general basic, it was 2,200 and I lowered that to 1,200, cause just
The miscellaneous.
nothing was used out of it, so. Just kinda pushes around a little bit there.
okay,
The conversation we just had, that
And you
change.
still wanna have a little bit of a cushion, you know? You never know what's coming down the pike.
for sure.
Thanks.
Yeah, thank you, I don't have any other questions, good budget stuff, yeah.
There you go, you look surprised, that was easy.
Why'd you lower this, Cory?
First time doing it, you know, like.
I know.
Alright,
Alright, thanks.
very good, thank you.
Have a good day. Who next? Oh, custodians, are they around?
Let me check.
This is pretty much just custodians and engineer. Is that all that's left for today? Yeah,
Is that all?
well,
I hear you.
individuals, that's all.
Headings.
Yeah, the engineer wanted most of the afternoon, so.
Well, hopefully the transfer station doesn't take us an hour, but we'll see.
Well, the snow I decided to leave on Saturday morning is gone by noon today, so.
Yeah. Helps to have temps in the forties.
I got so much shade in my driveway, it doesn't always get there.
Should've just installed
So
some
dirty outside.
heating loops out there when you put your concrete in, that would've made it cheaper, you know?
He's on the phone, as soon as he gets off, he'll be up.
Okay. Yeah, it does when it,
So the 40,000 in fuel under courthouse or somewhere, was that the heat to heat the building?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not fuel, right?
oh,
No,
It's electricity and propane.
I know, when I
gas.
first saw it, I thought,
Yeah.
gosh, how much is he driving?
Carter has asked that before, actually, you asked that
I
last
think
year,
I
the year
did.
before.
Are you actually driving
Yeah.
$40,000 on
No.
gas?
Yeah,
I thought I drove a lot and I don't spend that. Yeah, propane.
LP, or
Or
natural.
Natural gas probably, yeah.
Mid-American Energy.
Yeah.
Is it Mid-American here? Oh,
For gas.
okay. Oh, cause electric would be an AMU, yeah. Yeah, I'll probably be a complainer to Kyle's father-in-law eventually here, cause Mid-American is a lot cheaper than Midland, once I get moved to the farm.
Mid-American is cheaper,
Yeah, by a considerable amount.
that's what it is in Laverne,
Yeah, we have Mid-American for electric in town, and
and
then
how much is a kilowatt there?
8 cents.
Oh, it is a lot cheaper.
Yeah, yeah. And see, like, Midland, their minimum charge is $7 or something. Midland's minimum charge is 35, and.
So much a day, yeah.
And then,
It's not, it changes with the days of the month, number of days of the month.
yeah. And then their per kilowatt's more too.
I've got a place halfway, going a little more that's on Midland, and
Oh,
it costs, like you said, 35 a month, so much a day, and AMU's is 25, I got 5 times the power.
yeah. Willie, how are you?
Swell,
Good.
I'm fighting with somebody on the phone, but
No. Well, hopefully we won't fight you too much here. We had questions for you.
okay.
Lots of them.
Yeah,
we do have lots of,
We actually.
we actually have some questions for you.
not bad questions, questions of like,
Under courthouse.
Yeah,
was
was it
With
courthouse?
some of them.
yeah, so, let me go back here.
Parking lot,
Park-
Where did we put
elevator,
the, yeah,
all the,
Yeah, so the first one under courthouse was,
which
They
one was
looked
what?
very.
ground improvement, we were talking about the parking lot and
We
wanted to
talked
know.
about the parking lot, then we found that we had in the 31,000 fund, $50,000 budgeted for a capital project, would that be the parking lot?
Well, I know a few years ago when we started this, you guys said you were gonna start putting some money to the side. I brought it up again last year, kinda got, so I just let it go, I was just gonna bring it up again this year. Yeah, it can be. I mean, we were at it's been a year since I had the measurements and stuff and came up. I would recommend concrete, I would not go back with asphalt, but, cause then we could fix what the city screwed up out there, so you have that nice ramp coming in and everybody
Yeah.
bottoms out.
Tearing out the bottom of your car.
Yeah,
But yeah, that was one of my questions, was did you guys actually put money aside, or?
It was put aside, but it wasn't like put in like a savings, so it didn't continue, so it's
No,
not
no,
like
it was-
100,000 now, it's 50,000.
Right, no, I know, but they had just talked about, I don't know if they did 20, you know, 1 year, and then they did another 20, or what it was, they were trying to
Well, there's 50, yeah.
build up to it, I know.
So then what were the two different building? We have one building repair and maintenance, I assume that's as it says, but building improvement, 30,000?
That's just another, them two line items have always been there. You
Okay,
got-
so that,
So like
neither
when
one
you-
of them had anything to do with the parking lot?
Nope,
Yeah, okay,
they're there every year.
okay. That's one of the things we were trying to figure out, but the 50,000 must have been
So,
I
yeah,
think that was.
put in there standalone, but not to be compounded each year,
we wouldn't be able to do the parking lot for 50,000.
Well,
In concrete.
I would have to refigure it, because now there's one concrete company. When we were using Great Lakes, there was competition, but now it's just Chemstone, so
Yeah.
I haven't got, on my personal side of things, I haven't got my concrete price for the year, to even know what it's gonna be.
Who would put it in, would you in secondary road, or?
I would assume that's what we would do, but I'm not gonna speak for secondary road.
No, well, we can mention something to him when he comes up for budget, but,
But I will say, if that's the way it's gonna be, I need Doug to listen to me. That front sidewalk's horseshit, cause he didn't listen, with the being flat and then the stupid angle. It all could've been flat, so it's easy to move snow.
horse pucky.
Okay, whatever you wanna call it. You should know by now, I'm gonna tell you what I think.
Okay, well,
we could probably work together on that, but yeah.
yes. What do you think about the elevator?
The elevator's fine.
I know, do you think we should start putting money aside for a possible, the
The biggest-
elevator dice?
I don't think you're ever gonna replace the elevator because of the way it's built. It's on a, I mean, we could open it up sometime if you ever wanna see it, but it's basically on oil. And there's a big, in the mechanical room for the elevator, there's an oil pit, or not a pit, but a storage reservoir. And then I don't know, I don't think they do it every quarter, maybe twice a year. They crawl down in the bottom of the elevator, dump the bucket back in there. It has it leaks, or not leaks, but it loses so much into that bucket. The biggest thing is the electronics, and we have fixed a bunch of them already.
Okay.
And we got on it's like a service contract, let's call it, where they will fix so much. There's a lot of them things are covered now in our service contract. So instead of just being an oil and grease contract, they actually will take some of the parts. I don't think we've had a bill for parts in that elevator. I mean, it's been a while,
But how can you say we wouldn't replace it?
just because of the way it's built. The biggest thing that would have to be replaced would be something in that electronics. The elevator itself, I don't think you would replace.
Okay.
It's basically a hydraulic shaft that runs up and down, and it's on an oil pressure, the way I understand it.
Okay.
I mean, Palmer was here probably in maybe the end of November somewhere, I think maybe beginning of December, so he should be coming back maybe in February, and I could ask him. He's very honest. I mean,
Well, we're just thinking of things that are projects that should we save for them instead of having a big,
I don't think you would have the other than, like I said, the electronics, something crapping out in that electronics board. But he has replaced a pile of that stuff already.
Okay,
Okay.
that's good to know.
Yep.
Yeah, the way I understand it, now I could be misspeaking, but I don't think so, cause it's, basically a hydraulic shaft the way I understand it, just runs up and down.
Okay.
And they've redone all the, maybe that might have been before you left, they changed all them sensors in the door to bring it up to code.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, to my knowledge, there ain't a lot left to fix on it.
Okay.
Just
That's
fix
good
it.
to know.
Okay.
Another thing that we were talking about was the election center.
Oh.
Whether we should, we're not getting as many rentals since we increased the price to $250.
Okay,
So they were just wondering, your thoughts on that and how much cleanup you have to do over there after, if they take care of most of it like they should, or,
I would say it is, most people are fairly good. Every once in a while, yeah, you might have to do a little extra vacuuming cause they couldn't see, but I think you need to take it back, cause I was really shocked last year when there was no graduations, 0.
yeah, there was one or two, but not as many as we have had.
Yeah, because it used to be where whoever's weekend it was would have to come in and check on it, because you had it Saturday, somebody had it Sunday.
Well, I had said I'd like to see it used more, because when we designed it, we kinda designed it with that, some of that mind, you know,
Right.
in our minds, that to put in the kitchen and get the, what are roasters and all that stuff with that in mind. So I'd like to see it used more often. I mean, I know it's not a ton of money a year, but it's money,
It's something, it's better
It's
than just
something.
sitting there.
yeah.
So you talked about it being your weekend to come in or whatever, do you get extra if you come in on the weekend
Oh,
or
yeah.
something like that?
Where, me and
It rotates.
I
Barry,
understand, but what's it amount to then? But you're coming in anyway?
Yeah, they
I
have
have
to
to
come
come in and check
Yeah.
buildings
Okay.
here
in.
regardless.
Yeah,
And it might be an extra half hour, you know, yeah, I mean, sure, there's times where, you know, people have called and they've had problems, you've had to come in. It just adds up, but not to the extent where it's even gonna affect the budget one bit, not to that extent.
Okay, 150.
yeah. 150. I will make that change.
We'll just do that, just boom.
Well, it's
I'm just
whatever.
saying it, I'm not telling you to do it, I'm just saying, so 150?
Isn't that what it was before?
That's what it
Yeah,
was
that's what it
before.
was
Before, we were
before.
getting like 2,600 or,
Yeah.
I mean,
I mean,
instead of
at least you're
700.
paying, you know, part of the heat bill,
Yeah,
or probably most of the heat bill, I would guess.
I'll put it on the agenda for next week so we can officially make that
I don't-
decision. Oh, I mean, then it's in the minutes and then we know.
Yeah, we should have a record.
okay.
We
Okay.
probably did when it was changed, I don't
Yeah.
know for sure, but we probably.
I am pretty sure.
Yeah, alright. Well, custodian budget?
It's pretty, I don't think I changed anything.
No,
Yeah, I don't think.
put mine in upside down.
Man.
So,
That's me.
can I circle back to the parking lot, so are you gonna try and get a price then,
I can,
so we can figure out what, if we need to do something different?
yep. Now, you want me to, we're going to assume that Doug's gonna help with the machinery and that kind of stuff, haul the asphalt out?
Well, that's the easy part, putting the new in is the.
Well, that's the easy part too. I mean, it's not terrible with enough help and,
You poured enough concrete, you know what you're doing.
Yeah,
yeah, I'm not worried about that part of it, it's just that.
Yes.
But my recommendation is if you're seriously thinking about this, we need to expand it a little bit. Maybe coming like 2 or 3 feet on the south side and taking it up to the edge of the trees on the north side, because you're not getting smaller vehicles.
Oh,
People already have a tough time coming in here with pickups and stuff and
yeah.
to get out.
So it's easier to back into a spot than it is
Correct.
to.
It is. Mm-hmm.
That would be my recommendation. You tell me not to, we'll put it back the way it is. But if you're gonna spend the money to put in concrete, I would make it a little bit bigger right now.
What do we have to do as far as a operational standpoint, since that's our handicap accessible entrance? Do you do part of it and do it in stages?
It's gonna be, you're gonna have to close it, because there's gonna be a section of time. You can walk and wheelchair if you wanna stay on it the next day, but you can't drive on it for 7 days.
Yeah, but since that's our handicap accessible entrance, what do we do for the public?
No, there was one other time we had. to
When
do
we had the
something.
ramp
Yeah,
down.
when we had the ramp down, we did have to, and it worked. I mean,
Yeah,
people,
it's
we
just
just,
Put something in the front?
we put it, no, we just put it out there on the radio.
I think, didn't we put out
and
your,
advertised that we just couldn't,
No, didn't we put out your, help me,
We'll sign
the
on that
election
committee.
placard thing? And said if a handicapped person needed something
To
to
call,
call,
and
and
we'd go
they
out
would
to
go
the
out and
call.
assist.
Okay,
Okay, yeah.
That's, I think if I'm recalling correctly, that's what we did.
But we put it on the radio, I think, and
Right.
said, you know, keep this in mind,
Yeah.
Okay,
if you're going to the courthouse these days,
yeah.
so.
So what do you do for specs? I mean, I don't want you to hire an engineer or anything, but what do you?
We are not, I, just
What
crossed
do
the
you,
I
line.
could
you're
tell
gonna
you
go
that.
6 inches thick, or you gonna?
Yes, 6 inches minimum.
I'm
That's,
not-
we'll do exactly what we did in the alley. It'll be 6 inches thick with rebar, 2 foot on center. That'll handle anything that pulls in there.
We're more worried about what's moving, the snow probably than anything, right?
Yeah, and Scott comes up with he don't, very rarely he comes up with a payloader, but occasionally if it snows during the day and you got traffic in and out, there's no way getting that pack off without something big, so, but the payloader, if this asphalt will handle it, it'll handle 6 inches of concrete.
Okay,
Okay,
so
that's-
But-
price, get a price.
My other recommendation on that deal is if you're serious about this, we need to try and start it sooner than later so it has more time through the summer to cure. Because
Yeah.
Yeah.
there's no way I cannot put salt out there because of where we're at. And it's really hard on concrete the first year to put salt on it. So the more time I can get in the summer for it to cure, the more likely it is it's gonna stay a little bit smoother.
So when did you think you would wanna start it then, what's your ideal?
When the temperature straightens out,
It'll be
Yeah.
next year, not this year.
We
Because it'll
have
be
it in there this year,
below 50,000 cut it.
well, maybe not, but I guess.
I don't care, it can go.
Depending on
'Cause
where
we're
we are
talking
with
a budget
other
for
line
next
items
year.
and stuff,
Okay.
Yeah.
we might still be able to make it work.
depending on what the, yeah,
Depending
how
on
far
what-
off of 50,000 it is, yeah.
And depending on when you start it, because you could pay for, we could budget for it next year too, and so you
Well,
have.
if we started in May,
Split the
you would be
fiscal years.
lucky to have your bill from Kempstone in June. I mean, it's
Well-
aggravating to me, but,
You might be able to split the fiscal years with that too, with pay some of it now and some in the next fiscal year.
Right.
You wouldn't have to amend.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, I mean, if you wanna get a price,
yeah, I
See.
can,
I'd get things figured out.
okay. Yep,
otherwise custodian budget, I have no questions on.
I didn't even look at it.
I hadn't looked
Oh,
at it
okay.
that far.
There might be questions yet.
okay.
Uniforms and other apparel going up pretty significantly.
14.2%.
Yeah,
$250.
I know.
You moved it up?
Smart.
No, we did together.
Oh, we did?
Wait,
I don't remember changing nothing, so that's why I asked. Okay, sorry.
I didn't do it.
Yes, boss.
Hey, at least you get a uniform and apparel and everything. We won't go back in time. Looks phenomenal.
As long as we worked on the budget together, that's good.
We did.
Good,
Alright,
done.
good enough,
I think that's all the other questions we had
yep,
for
Okay.
you.
thanks Walt.
Thank you very
Perfect.
much.
They are starting the air handlers you guys approved on Monday, so,
Okay,
just so you're aware. I don't know if Tammy mentioned it, but she's been preoccupied with other crap.
I have one question.
Yes?
So, over there, if this whole change goes through with everything, kind of like Chris's office and all that, with this, you know, looking
Change,
at
I
that
don't put-
building. I'm saying if we have EMS and EMA, everything kind of in one location, and say she moves her office there, that generator,
Stays.
it stays there,
Yep.
okay,
It's put for that building.
okay, because I think we had a conversation about that, and that's why I'm bringing it up, otherwise I wouldn't even know it's there. It's something about it being a state-funded generator. And so anyway, just maybe food for thought to think about just in case.
We'd have to go clear back to Dave, I mean, that's,
Cause we did talk about that before.
yeah, but it's,
Just-
that generator was sized for that building, now, could it be moved? It can be, but you're
Well,
not
I'm
gaining nothing by doing it.
Well, I'm not necessarily saying move it, I'm saying if they would need that there, need one there.
They would
I'm
have,
just
I would
saying
say you'd
that.
have to get a bigger one, because A, it's a bigger building,
Mhm.
and to be completely honest, on a generator situation, you can't have it on natural gas. Because if there's a natural disaster, the
Sure.
first thing they're gonna do is shut the natural gas off.
True, we've talked about that, yes.
So they need a diesel generator sitting there that needs, just kinda like the jail, that's what theirs is. It's got a big diesel tank under it, it gets ran every Monday. It's set up in a program and they come once a year and fill it back up. Or if we were to ever have a situation, then we just have to fill it up after
Yeah.
the situation, so it's topped off again.
The only reason I'm thinking about it, I just thought, well, if it was state funded and there was something there that, then we may have to pay for some of that over there. That's the only reason I'm bringing it up.
Well, yeah, that would be in
You know
your
what I mean?
guys' category and not
Yeah.
mine, to know who's
When
paying.
was that installed?
Before I was over here.
I think we
When
did that
he-
with COVID money.
Was it, or was it when
We
we moved
might
Dave
have
over
done it
there?
with ARPA.
I think we did.
It wasn't ARPA.
It wasn't?
No, I
No.
think we did it when we moved Dave over there. I don't know
Well,
why
cause
I'm
we
thinking-
did that, I thought we did that,
Because it
remodel
was-
upstairs,
Cause it was an EOC,
correct.
we had to have a generator, so I thought through all that process.
That's why I said, I
when
know,
we
I think he did a grant or some sort
It
of,
was, that's why I'm saying state funded, it was through.
but yeah, I thought we did that during COVID,
No.
no?
We did it when we moved him over there, I'm just positive of it.
So this one is diesel also,
No,
No.
this is natural
It
gas.
isn't.
so it's hard to imagine that. So how did that happen?
Don't
It
know.
was available. The old Chevy garage had a big gas line in it, and we tapped off that.
But wouldn't the same logic have applied at that time as,
Well, it would, except we didn't think of it then, and that's what made us think of it.
We weren't using logic then, I guess.
Could there be a tank installed that was fed by that line that then had a check valve so the pressure wouldn't go back in the line or something? So we had a local supply of gas to run it for a period of time?
That sounds scary.
Not that I know of.
Okay.
I mean, I don't know that natural gas acts like
That
LP.
sounds very
but-
complicated.
I mean-
I don't know.
I've never seen a natural gas tank like you see LP tanks. I think
Yeah.
the properties are different, so I assume
Could
it's.
be, I don't know, I was just comparing it to
Sure.
LP in my head.
Yeah, I get what you were trying to, I've never heard of it. I mean, it's something that could be asked, I guess, but
Well, I'm not the person to ask that question to, that's why I
But
was
it's-
asking.
Just food for thought.
fuel?
Yeah, you maybe could convert it to LP or have it,
no, you're not gonna go from LP to natural gas because the orifices are gonna be
no,
different.
from natural gas to LP.
You're not gonna go back, I can guarantee you that ain't gonna happen. You could go like
Switch.
LP to diesel or natural gas to diesel, but you can't go natural gas.
So it could be
Cause the
converted.
properties are so different. Like
can
you look at
convert
an LP,
furnaces from gas to LP.
huh?
Yes, from gas that you convert.
Yeah,
You have to convert it.
Convert, so you're not gonna do that at a flip of a switch.
no, you wouldn't, not at the. front
Yeah,
of the
that's what
switch,
I'm
but
saying, cause like you
change.
look at an LP orifice, it's tiny, and you look
Yeah.
at a natural gas for the same furnace, it's big.
Mhm. Yeah, I don't know.
Thank you.
Yep,
Sure. Just all kinds of insight.
oh yeah.
Thank you, sir.
All kinds of horse.
When you wanna answer on the concrete, I'll go call the salesman now.
Yesterday,
As
Okay.
soon as you can get it.
I'll have it.
Thank you.
Thanks, Will. You wanna call Doug up? Absolutely.
Okay, I'll
Please.
hand out the supervisor changes while we're waiting for him to come up.
Oh, okay. You can still go ahead and call. 101.
Yeah, you'll memorize that. Okay. Thank you.
Then for supervisor. Under S? Yes.
Hi Doug, it's Howard. We are ready for you.
Just expenses?
Thanks.
Yes, just expenses.
You don't wanna stay for the most exciting one? It'll be very short, simple.
It'll be long, it'll be very long.
Yeah.
It won't be short or simple.
I doubt it will be.
It won't.
I'll just ask you guys tell me, inform me of what further assistance I can be to give you our perspective on this battery collection center.
I don't know. You know, I guess kind of the same answer to them, I mean, can inform us as much as anybody wants, but if we're not making a decision on anything,
Sure.
Yeah.
I mean, it's helpful, sure, in our own personal minds,
I
but.
think their point was fair, that there was verbiage that was used by the Board of Adjustments that basically kind of eluded everybody to conclude that they thought this was just a
Yeah,
bigger decision than they were prepared to make with the information that they had, and they were trying to maybe find a way to get guidance
Mhm.
from you guys or somebody, but I think the part that they are missing, I think my interpretation was, I think there's a clear understanding that they were at least aware of some of the concerns that I raised and thought maybe this isn't the best thing for the county, maybe not be the best thing certainly for the residents that live in the area, and I hope, I guess, that I can continue to allude to those concerns, cause that's what ultimately your role is, and what their role is to look after the county. I'm not responsible for the grid. And Interstate Power Company isn't responsible for the grid. And these wind turbines were built without a plan for those battery collection centers there. The grid didn't need them then, it doesn't need them now. And I just don't think that the county needs to accept, and the residents in that area need to accept the risks that come along with these battery collection storage centers without some type of compensation to the county or some type of risk reward analysis, because otherwise there's nothing here for us. I'm sure you guys feel pressure to probably accept their desires, but I hope you balance that by the needs of the residents.
Yeah.
So let me know, I guess, what I can do to continue
yeah,
to
appreciate that.
provide our points of view and how I at least understand what
Appreciate
the
it.
risks are, because they are real.
Who knows how they'll proceed, so yeah, we'll definitely be in touch if that time comes, so.
They got the cart ahead of the horse. If
Yeah.
they'd have just asked us first and maybe found an agreement, then none of this would have had to happen.
Yeah,
But they approached it from the backside and thought they were just gonna railroad this thing through past everybody. Fortunately, they're not doing that.
thanks, David.
Have a good one.
Supervisors, the only change was adjusting the new supervisors, so they only had 6 months of insurance instead of a
Oh.
year, so that was the change to that.
Sure, okay. Very good.
Doug, which one are you doing first?
Which would you like?
Got transfer station on here first. Is that,
Alright,
we able to do that first?
Probably the shorter one, huh?
Yeah,
yes.
I don't know, Tammy put it on here for an hour.
Yeah, I did. Well, he wanted the whole afternoon, so.
Okay, we'll,
So I
however
gave,
long it takes is fine.
gave him the whole afternoon.
Okay.
You don't have to listen to Tammy.
Nobody else does, why would you?
Optional.
You're not gonna offend me either.
I do, I'm close enough, she'll hit me.
I'm not usually physical.
She did say usually there is a
That's true.
chance.
Not a guarantee.
She probably does have some pool balls in there.
I think I'm the only one that doesn't.
Oh.
But I
There
do,
might be a reason for
I
that.
do have a makeshift knife here, this little envelope opener. Could be,
That could be dangerous.
yeah, but no pool balls for me.
No pool balls?
No, but I could take your temperature.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
I remember those days.
I'm glad I wasn't on the board anymore.
That was fun.
Yeah,
No, it wasn't.
No, it really wasn't. I hated that.
yeah, that's,
Alright,
When is
let's just go over, do you guys have the sheets?
Yep.
The sheet I'm looking at is dated January 8 of 2026 in the upper left-hand corner.
I said
We have
9th.
the 9th is when I made that change, that little change that you made, where I just saw that. He just had a little change I made. That 43.5 for health insurance
Oh,
and on the
Yes.
first page, so that would have been printed the 9th. And I
I
probably did,
printed it up, you printed it up the day of and you printed the day after for the board.
yeah,
So, yes. Okay.
but yes, we have it in front of us.
Yes, okay, so we're looking at expenditures, officer's salary, 87,000 is estimated, that would be, Blake, our, transfer station manager, that's based on 2080 hours, 400 hours of overtime, to come up with that. Other help, we have 76,000 in there, and again, that's based on, 2080 and 400 hours. Blake is compensated the same as a road foreman, and other help, Troy is a, operator 3, so that's where the same as what.
So he's scheduled for 8 hours of overtime a week? Is that what you said?
400 for the year, 2080 for, the year, 2080 hours,
Yeah.
and 400 hours a year, so,
Of overtime?
of overtime.
So he's scheduled for 48 hours a week then?
Oh yeah, they come in at least a minimum of an hour early. They're there at 6 o'clock every morning and they work till 4.
Okay.
Yes.
Do either one of them have longevity? I'm sorry, I don't know how long either one of them have been.
Right now, they have not been here for 5 years. So there would be no longevity. The longevity kicks in after 5 years.
It does, is
Yeah.
that what it is?
Yeah.
right now
That's
currently.
presently what it is.
July 1st it'll change to, was it July 1st that
Yeah.
it will change?
Yeah,
July 1st, we change it
which
Yeah.
would be this budget.
Yes,
with it, yeah, which would be this budget, so that's why I guess I was asking.
So every year, the
yes,
longevity is for every year then?
yes,
In a 5-year period?
Yep, yep.
I will double check that to make
Yep.
sure that
Yep.
that is in there.
Yep.
The FICA then is the percentage, and ends up being, $12,500 approximately. IPER's $15,500. With health insurance, $43,500. Life insurance, $350. We estimate diesel fuel, $15,000 expenditure, and regular gasoline, $4,000 of expenditures. We have office supplies and shop supplies. The office supplies are estimated to be $10,000.
We don't have
The
anything.
shop supplies are 15.
And where?
yeah, he does.
Yeah,
No,
10,000 in supplies, 15 in
miscellaneous.
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 Just move
Oh,
it down.
There
no,
is-
I was gonna
okay.
say, the first,
The
the
first line doesn't have it.
260, 45, 26 has a blank and it has 10,000 currently.
No,
The
he
next-
he didn't put anything in that one this year.
That's for the
I'm
transfer
off,
station office,
I'm off a line there.
so those
Okay.
need to shift.
Yeah, it should be 10,000 in the 10,000, 8,100, 10,000, 260, 45, 26, and 15,000 in 81,000, 10,000, 260, 45, 27. I'm
Okay,
sorry.
so they're just off a line.
So,
How much for the transfer station
Oh, I
shop?
see.
15.
15,000.
So
So
you
you
don't,
raised
you
that.
don't have anything in 260-45-26.
I gotta change that, I'll get it to
He
you.
wants it,
You
but he
wanted
doesn't
it.
want
They need to
anything in
shift
And then the
miscellaneous.
miscellaneous will have none.
Will be zero.
I gotcha.
So the transfer station shop, you're going to go from 10,000 to 15,000.
Yes.
I am, yes.
Okay.
Okay, I gotcha.
Contract carriers, based on 700 loads at $313.11 a load. I just put a 5% increase just to make sure that I'm covering everything there. That comes up to be approximately $250,000. And then carriers hauling recyclables to Minneapolis, that'd be approximately 36 loads, 3 loads a month. $818.91 per load. So that's what I'm using for estimates on those. Telephone, got $1,600 in there, which has kind of been $1,500, $1,550. $500 for just if we have some engineering services, ended up using the comprehensive plan, paying for it out of that account this year. And that's why that is, the use to date is higher. Electric service, put in 4,500. LP, I put in 4,000. We've been pretty fortunate, we have not had to, not had to use that as much as what we've been budgeting over the last few years. We have some security lights down over the recycling bins, and we budget $1,000 for that. Equipment repairs, budget $25,000. Just equipment, if we'd have to rent something, or if we would need to purchase something for the equipment, I budgeted $5,000. This would be out of the transfer station operating fund. Equipment, I did budget $125,000 out of that. If the end of this year, it appears that we have had a pretty good year, I would think it would be good to start purchasing another waste trailer and get a rotation on those waste trailers. We have 3, they're going to be 5 years old. We figure the life on them is 10, so I just put that in just to, if we have a good year, we will purchase something. Machinery equipment hired, $4,000 is what I budgeted. Groundwater testing out of the operating balance, or out of the operating fund, is $2,500. Groundwater testing out of the, it would be the transfer station post-closure fund would be $20,000. Groundwater monitoring out of the operating fund, $2,500. Groundwater monitoring out of the post-closure fund, $10,000. Disposal services, figuring that on 14,000 tons of refuse at $34 a ton. Looking at, and I multiply that by 1.1 just to make sure that we're okay with everything. I budgeted 550,000 there. State fees, 45,000 again, based on that 14,000 multiplied by $3. Repair to the building improvement, I budgeted 5,000. Household hazardous waste expenses, $6,000 budgeted. Electronic waste, $6,000. White goods or appliances, $500. And any other environmental type activity that we would have, $1,000 is what I budgeted. So we got a program total of $1,378,950. $1,000 estimated for a transfer from our operating to our post-closure fund. $30,000 expenditure from our operating to our equipment. So that gives us total expenditures of $1,409,950. And then if we look at the revenue, I don't think that we're gonna have any equipment to sell, so I do not have anything budgeted in that. Non-budgetary funds. Which I've estimated $1,000. That would be some of our, trying to think some of the things that we have brought in that,
It's like it's been a while.
it has been a while, but I budgeted $1,000, it's kind of a miscellaneous type thing. Equipment, that's a $30,000 transfer, that would be coming into the equipment fund. $25,000 rural recycling, that pays for the transportation of the recycling containers here in Algona to Burt. That comes from the Board of Supervisors. Transfer station fees, again, based on the $14,000 or 14,000 tons multiplied by $75 and increasing it by 1%, I'd estimate that we're gonna have $1.2 million from either people with their garbage or with recycling. Interest, $20,000. Sale of some salvageable material, approximately $1,000 of revenue. Trust agencies, we've had some dollar amounts in there. I put $500 in there. We have a fuel dividend of $300. That $500 is actually, I think, sometimes we get an electric with the cooperative there. But the amount of revenue then is $1,277,800 plus the $31,000 of transfer, given $1,246,880. Revenue minus expenditures is a negative $132,150, and that's more or less the trailer that we talked about there. So, if we purchase the trailer, if we get towards the end of the year this year, and we have a good year this year, and we have some balance, we can make that expenditure. If not, we can always go back on it.
I had one question, where was it?
You can, I already turned.
Oh, that's not,
Just
you
kidding.
you don't have to turn back to it, it's not a big thing. Oh, on your solid waste disposal services, just looking to past years and being halfway through this year, looks like we've been consistently over that 550, is that enough, or you think just with the other line items that it works out fine? Or?
It seems to work out all right. That we always had that garbage going over the scale, so we got our revenue source right there, and things have been working out all right the way this is budgeted. I'm starting, I think that with some of the activity that's gone on in Kossuth County over the last couple of years, some of that that is creating garbage, some of the industry, construction, and different things like that seem to be lessening, and it seems like some of our garbage is going down as well. So this, I'm kind of just basing that,
Sure.
kind of the break-even point, but if we do get more garbage, we get more revenue as well.
Right, okay.
And then just the last thing I'd like to just quickly go over is just I go over this with the Kossuth Waste Management Association all the time. This is a transfer station comparison, fee comparison. And comparing to other transfer stations kind of within a 60-mile radius or so, we got Buena Vista County Transfer Station, Emmett County Transfer Station, Hamilton County Transfer Station, Palo Alto, Pocahontas, and Wright. They all operate transfer stations. You can see the census population as of 2020, and for example, Buena Vista, they have a population, Buena Vista County, of 20,823 people. Tons of refuse column there. This would have been in 2023, but Buena Vista accepted 18,600 tons of refuse. Hamilton, 13,055. Kossuth County, we were almost 16,000, 15,597. There are per capita fees that some transfer stations charge, so they get $1 per person. So you can see that per capita fee, Buena Vista County, they get $7,982 per capita for disposal of their garbage. Kossuth County, we do not have any kind of a per capita fee there. Hamilton County, they got a $4.50 per person, generates $60,675.50. Then you take the what that per capita dollar per ton of garbage amounts to, and that's 38 for Buena Vista, $38.06. Hamilton County, $5.18. You add that along with their tipping fee. Buena Vista is $52. Emmett is $110 per ton. Hamilton, $78 per ton. Kossuth County, $75 per ton. Palo Alto, $85 per ton. Pocahontas, $100 per ton, and Wright County is $74. If you add the tipping fee plus per capita, you can see where Buena Vista County is has an equivalent charge of $90.06 per ton for their garbage. Emmett County charges $110 per ton. Hamilton County, $83.18 per ton. Kossuth County, by the time you take your $25,000 that the transfer station receives from the Board of Supervisors for that transportation, it amounts to $76.60 per ton. Palo Alto is $107.48 per ton. Pocahontas, $215.16 per ton, and Wright County, $102.20 per ton. So we, according to my calculations, Kossuth County Transfer Station, we are, certainly we have the third, as far as refuse goes, the tons is, I guess is the second largest, yet we are charging one of the lowest rates in this area, at the lowest. So I think the guys up at the transfer station, the whole operation up there, we are very fortunate. The hauling right now is going very, very well. With Pat and Enterprises, Blake and Troy are doing a very good job up there. They are very good employees, and the engineer's office, we support the transfer station, the road department. There's times where, in fact today we have a illness up there, and one of the road department employees is up there working, so. But the operation is going very well.
I had a question.
Sure.
I'm not the environmentalist in the crowd, but if I was, yes, Pocahontas is expensive on a per ton basis, but with basically half the people, they've got less than a fourth of the tonnage, how do they manage that?
I don't know,
You gotta have
exactly
some
how their
idea.
operation works out. But they, I mean, they are, when,
I mean, I understand
when
why,
you do not have very much garbage coming in, going
They got-
over the tipping floor.
9,000.
they gotta charge more per ton, I understand that, but
Correct,
why do they have, is it going somewhere else, or? we
Why,
don't-
why do they have half the tons per person?
I have no idea if they don't have, you know, the industry that's doing it.
Yeah.
Some of their industry might direct haul instead of going through the transfer station. I really don't know, that would have to be directed.
Is it, does each county have different rules as far as, like, say, like I can't direct haul from Laverne to Lake Mills, it's gotta go to Bird. Can, in other counties, can you,
Oh, we can direct haul.
but I'm saying
From our
like
service
a
area,
private,
go right to
But as
Lake
a
Mills,
private
but we
entity-
cannot go to Fort Dodge.
okay,
The Fort Dodge landfill only every service area is, you're required, if you're within a service area, to follow the plan that the service area has. So
Okay.
everybody, all the cities in Kossuth County, with the exception of Whittemore, all the, people in rural Kossuth County, Buffalo Center, and Corwith, are all that garbage is required to be disposed of as part of the Kossuth Waste Management Association, service area rules.
right,
So, if Mason City, well, for example, I guess our transfer station, if somebody brings garbage outside of our transfer station, we are not supposed to accept it.
okay,
It is supposed to go where it is supposed to go.
okay,
Everybody is required to have some sort of disposal plan.
sure.
Out of curiosity, I just have a stupid question. Who pays the per capita fee? I mean, where's that coming from?
Well, the cities, the county,
Be
you
like
know,
an
based on
added
populations, so.
So are they charging that to their customers or are they just paying it?
No, that would be the government that is actually paying that to the transfer station.
Okay,
So that'd be the county, so
Yeah.
like we
That's
pay.
one.
Be part of the,
Yeah,
Okay.
Kossuth
Levy
County,
or-
I'm just gonna say,
okay,
our population is right around, just say we're 15,000, we got whatever, 6,500 in the county. Kossuth County then would provide, if there was a per capita, Kossuth County, whether it's, I suppose it would be a rural service,
okay,
would pay, that much.
okay.
okay,
Yeah, so.
Just a different way to distribute the cost
Correct,
than
yeah.
tipping fees.
So there's, like, just, this doesn't even apply, I don't even know why, I think I had a daughter live, I think it was a Tumwa, and if you had a water meter there, or maybe it's right now, it's in Altoona, I don't know. If you have a water meter, you get a garbage charge too, and that way people are encouraged to use the,
well, that's how I am in Laverne,
Oh, yeah.
if you're on city water, you're on city garbage, there's no option, whether you use it or not.
man, it doesn't matter, I just,
No, but that's,
Well,
Where
makes
they
sense.
collect their fees.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, but then
Keeps
it
us
also
clean.
discourages people from throwing stuff in the road.
that's
Yeah.
exactly why,
Mhm.
yeah.
yeah.
Or it doesn't discourage them from doing that, but they don't have to
It
because
doesn't,
Yeah.
it doesn't get any cheaper that
Yeah,
way.
there you go, that's right.
Or they don't just hold it onto it and leave it on their property,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yes, and there are other communities within our service area that do, pick up their own garbage. Laverne does, Fenton, Lone Rock, Sway City, Wesley, Titanca. They have their own garbage service, that's part of the city's plans.
okay.
Okay, engineer.
All right, I'll get those corrections to you, Tammy, I
Thank you.
apologize for that.
No worries,
No worries.
no worries.
Okay, engineer,
Yeah, I got a few things I just wanna go over before we start really looking at the budget. First thing,
sure,
today about 10:30, we were notified, I just wanna let you know that, the traffic marking crew from the contracts, resurfacing contracts last year are coming up here and they're correcting the mistakes that they made to the roads. So they're out painting the roads. They asked if it was okay, we said, yeah, but if it freezes tonight and it all comes off, you're gonna have to come back. But it is nice outside right now, so. The other thing that I'd just like to talk about a little bit, but the courthouse was closed on December 29th. We did have a couple of employees that were not able to come to work that day. What are they supposed to use for hours on their timesheet?
So what we've done in the past is whatever hours they were scheduled to work.
So regular office hours?
Well, it depending on who it was, like if they were regularly scheduled to work 10 hours, then that's what they would turn in.
No, I mean, what category? Is it vacation, is it holiday, is it
Regular, it's regular pay,
regular office hours?
yeah.
Okay. Then we had a situation where an employee actually was on scheduled vacation. Does that,
They don't have to take a vacation day.
so then they get snow day for that as well?
Correct. Lucky them.
That was my birthday, I didn't appreciate you.
All right, I guess the first thing that I wanna do, and I've went over some of this stuff with the board before, but, I started compiling some information from, all the annual reports that are made. So this is a start for the all the information compiling in all the annual reports of all the counties in the state of Iowa. This is a table. On the left-hand side is the county. Across the top is different categories. I have highlighted maximum values in green and minimum values in red. So if you're just looking at the first page, you can see going across the top, the area in square miles. Dickinson County is the smallest area in the state. It has 381.1 miles. Just so everybody is aware, the references, as far as that area, it is the website iowadatacenter.org, and that's part of the US Census. As far as miles of roadway, number 2, that is coming from the Iowa Miles of Roads 2024, published by the Iowa Department of Transportation. The qualifying bridge list is number 3, and that is something that's put out by the Iowa Department of Transportation, and that would be a 2025. The number of employees going across the top there is from the 2025 Iowa County Engineers Service Bureau staff query. If you look at page 4 of 12 and going across administrative costs, that's all coming from the fiscal year 2025 County Engineers Annual Report Summary, and that's published by the Iowa County Engineers Service Bureau. And then if you look at page 8, there are some references. That would be the all-county fiscal year 2025 Iowa County Engineers Service Bureau Annual Report analysis for some levy rates and property taxes in local dollars that are put into budgets. So we got the colors. If you go every third page, there is kind of a summary there, showing Kossuth County, area, total miles of road, I'm looking at page 3 of 12. Our neighbors, Emmett, Palo Alto, Pocahontas, Humboldt, Wright, Hancock, Winnebago, what theirs are. I did add Hancock and Winnebago and Emmett and Palo Alto. I added those together and put those on a line for data. And then underneath of that, you can see what the value of Kossuth County is for all of those, the maximum, the minimum, the average, and the median. And then below that, how Kossuth County ranks, highest to lowest, the percent of the max that Kossuth County is, the percent of the minimum, the percent of the average, and the percent of the median. So as you go along, you can see that, yes, Kossuth County is the largest county in area. We also have the largest road system with 1,647 miles of roadway. And as you go along, you can just see how that data is all presented. So I'll let you review that. I also have kind of a summary of that data in a text format. Oh, that's mine, Tammy, I think. Yeah,
I'll let you do yours.
sorry. There you go, you're welcome. And this data is really just taken from the columns, certain columns. And again, the first point on that is the area of Kossuth County is 973 square miles. You can see the largest county, the smallest county, with the counties that are referenced, what the average county is, and then where the reference is for that. Total secondary road miles, again, 1,647, that's the largest. The smallest is Scott County, they have 559 and 2,900 miles of roads. The average county in Iowa has 904.9 miles. And again, that references the rural secondary road 2024. The largest road system of gravel roads is 1,104.28, and that happens to be Pottawatomie County. We rank number 2 in that. Polk County, they are the smallest. They have 160 miles of gravel roads. And you can see what the average is. Total miles of paved road is 513 miles. The largest is Polk County with 545.9 miles, 0.89 miles. Kossuth County, we are ranked number 2. We're just a little bit under Polk. The smallest county paved road system is Lucas, and they have 52 miles of paved roads. Average county has 192 miles of road. A number of bridges in Kossuth County is 248. Largest is Sioux County, 393. The smallest, Winnebago, 45. And this is coming from the qualified bridge list. A bridge is defined there as anything with a center span of greater than 20 feet, 20 feet or greater. There are some culverts that actually have a bottom floor for footing that actually fit that definition. So when I look at a bridge, I look at something on piers, but the federal definition of that is a little bit different. Total number of employees in Kossuth County is 41. The largest, we rank 17th. The largest is 68, that happens to be Lynn. 17 is the smallest, and that's Ida. Secondary road administrative and engineering costs are $800,081.65, that's in 2025. That was the 37th highest. dollar amount for engineering and administration. The largest was $2,689,000, that was Mahaska County, the smallest $360,459. And then the total secondary road, administrative, engineering, roadway maintenance, and general roadway costs. This would be everything that was spent in Kossuth County that was not construction. That was $8,858,482.12. That was the 19th highest total. You can see Potawatomi County, they spent $17,352,462.55. The smallest county with that was Decatur, they had $3,632,000, and the average was $7,114,000. The next few lines are about revenue. In 2025, the rural basic levy rate per $1,000 of taxable value in Kossuth County was $1.54671 per $1,000 of valuation, taxable valuation. That was 94th. So there was only 5 counties smaller than that. The largest rate was $3.04. That was Des Moines County. The smallest was Woodbury County, and they had $1.12 per $1,000 for a levy rate. The average is $2.55 per $1,000. The rural basic dollars that are actually transferred, and that's in Kossuth County, was $2,065,139.07. That was 51 highest. The largest county transfer was $8,073,000, that was Polk. The smallest was $510,189, that's Van Buren. The average was 2.2 million, and if you look at general basic levy per $1,000, Kossuth was 16 and 78 cents per $1,000. That was the 22nd highest. The largest, and I don't know how they're doing this because the limit is $16,000 or $16.78, but it comes up that they're levying 49 cents per $1,000. I have not talked to the Mills County engineer about that. The smallest, there are some counties that do not levy anything on the general side for roads. Average is 9 cents. Or, yes, 9 cents, a little bit over 9 cents per $1,000. General basic dollars transferred in secondary road department in fiscal year 2025. In Kossuth County, it was $290,276.65. The largest county was $2,066,000. That was Lynn County. There were a few counties, multiple counties that did not transfer any general fund dollars to the road department. And the average was $196,906.42. In fiscal year 2025, the total property tax dollars, you add up the rural and the general, it was $2,355,415.72. That was the 45th largest amount among all counties. The largest was $8,073,525.24. That's Polk County. The smallest was Van Buren with $510,000. The average was $2,418,700 or so. So Kossuth County is less than average. The local option sales and service tax dollars that are transferred to the road department, that was $750,000 in 2025.
On that, wasn't that $1 million?
I was just
I
gonna,
was thinking the same thing.
I was looking at that for a
I
little
was just
while
looking
and
to
I
look,
flipped at
I'm
the
like, I
budget, I'm
thought it
pretty
was a
sure
million.
it was set, it was 3/4 the year before.
We're in fiscal year 2025, right?
But-
We're in 26 now.
But this is for 2025.
Yeah,
It was a million, wasn't
It was
it
a
a
million.
It's
million?
a million for the,
For right now, it's
Right
It
not.
was last year
it
too.
was last year too.
okay, well,
Either way,
this is a summary of annual report dollars.
Last time it was 750, it was 2320.
Yeah,
So-
I had just flipped back to
So I'll
that.
have to look into that.
Yeah, fiscal year 24 was 750, fiscal year 23 was 500,000, but 25 and
I will-
26 are both a million.
Okay, I apologize for that.
either way, we can go forward with that number.
Yeah.
So the total local dollars transferred, and this would not be correct, it's off by $250,000. I got $2,946,514.88.
So about 3.2 million.
Correct. So anyway, according to my, table there, we were 37th. The local effort percentage was 83%. That's 84th in,
What's that mean?
You gotta be 75, right?
your minimum amount of local effort is 75%. So it depends on, if you're not at 75%, they reduce the road, taxes that they go by what you, are not going to that minimum.
Are there counties that don't do the minimum? I mean, why?
Yes,
How would that?
There are.
That's not very beneficial, is it? I mean,
No, in fact, Decatur County shows that they went right about 70%. So we had, there's been budgets approved that did not meet the 75% in Kossuth County.
really,
We amended it, so.
oh,
The average is 118, the largest is Clay County, they have a local effort of 438%.
how do they do that?
Well, I do not know if they have urban renewal that can show as contribution to local effort.
Okay.
That would be my first
Yeah.
guess for the people that are quite a bit large. So then if you look at just the dollars that are spent per square mile, my calculations show that we spend $2,421 per square mile. That's the 85th largest. There's 84 counties that spend more at that rate. The largest is Polk County, they have 14,181. The smallest is Decatur County, which is $1,000 per square mile. The average is 4,261. If you look at the total secondary road fund property tax dollars spent as per mile of road, we have $1,430 per mile of road. That's 86th, that ranks 86. There's 85 counties that spend more dollars per mile of road than what Kossuth County does. The highest is Polk County with 11,400,000. The smallest Van Buren with 689. If you look at just the local tax dollars, which would be your property tax and your local option sales tax, Kossuth County spends $3,028.28 per square mile. That's ranked 83rd. 82 counties spend more per area, per mile of area. Dubuque is actually the largest, $17,091. Smallest county is Decatur at $1,000, $1,050. Average is $4,993.50. If you look at the total secondary road fund, local tax dollars spent per total miles of road, that calculates to be $1,788.94 per mile of road. That's 84th as far as a rank. 83 counties spend more per mile of road than what Kossuth County does. The largest dollar is Dubuque with $13,508. Decatur spends $724. The average is $3,191. Administration costs, administration, engineering, roadway maintenance, general roadway expenses in Kossuth County. That was $9,104.30 per square mile. That's ranking 88. 87 road departments spend more for their total expenditures per square mile than what Kossuth County does. The largest is $20,062 for Lynn County. The smallest is $6,830. As far as all those expenses, secondary road administration, engineering, roadway maintenance, and general roadway expenses in Kossuth County per mile of roadway is $5,378.31. That's a 92nd ranked. There's 91 counties that spend more per mile of road than what Kossuth County does. The largest being Polk, and that's $13,454. The smallest is Decatur, $4,711 per mile. Average is $7,894.20. If you look at the secondary road administration and engineering expenses per square mile of, I got something messed up there, per square mile, that is $822.28 per square mile. That's 94th. Our administration and engineering per square mile. Mahaska County is the largest. Shelby County is the smallest. Mahaska has 4,700 per square mile. Shelby is $674 per square mile. The average is $1,437.44. Secondary road administration and engineering expenses per mile of road is $485.76. That's ranks 96. There's 95 counties in the state of Iowa spend more on their administration and engineering expenses per mile of road. The largest being Mahaska with $2,777. Smallest is Shelby with $420. Secondary road administration and engineering expenses per the total number of bridges is $3,266.14. We ranked 67 on that. 66 counties spend more. Mahaska is the greatest, $14,537.71. The smallest is Shelby County. The average county is $4,809.17. The county area divided by the number of employees, secondary road employees, is 23.73 square miles per employee. We rank number 5 on that. Only 4 counties have road employees greater. Davis County, they have a 27, almost 28 square miles per employee. The smallest, Dickinson County, they have 8.5 square miles per employee. The average county area the average county is 17.5 square miles per employee, and then the total miles of road divided by, secondary road employees for Kossuth County is 40.17 per employee, that's ranks 4th. Davis County is the highest with 43.99. Polk County, they have 11.39 miles of road per employee, and the average is 28.7. I think from this, Kossuth County is not an average county. I think that if you look at our dollars per square mile, we're doing very well. Dollars per road, miles of road, we're doing very well. We perform better than a lot of counties in the state. We also have smooth roads. We've been recognized for International Roughness Index. We have the lowest rating in the state. We also have had numerous recognitions from industries on our road system. So I think it's something that Kossuth County can be very proud of, that we are doing that in an efficient manner for the road system that we have. I'd like to just quickly go over a little bit of personnel. One thing that we need to visit about is how to handle a position, equipment operators, mechanics, assistant foreman. And if you, did I get two? Thank you. This sheet here on the left side, the positions, we have what we call the probationary employee. This is as part of the collective bargaining agreement. The probationary employee, the present wage, 2026 wage, is $25.78. With the fiscal year 2027 3% increase, that gets moved up to $26.55. After a probationary employee spent 6 months and received satisfactory review, we move them to equipment operator 1, which presently is $27. We move after another 6-month evaluation and positive evaluation, we move them to $27.27, and equipment operator 3 is another approximately 6-month period, and that'd be $27.52. Just looking at how that was divided up, I started looking at just the percentage using equipment operator 3 as 100%. Equipment operator 2, that wage was approximately 99% of equipment operator 3. Equipment operator 1 was approximately 98% of equipment operator 3, and the probationary was 94% of the equipment operator 3. So that when we look at the percents, that's what I'm doing, is looking at how that probationary equipment operator 1, 2, 3 worked out. And then the difference in those dollars, probationary $1.74 less than equipment operator 3, 52 cents for equipment operator 1, and 25 cents less than equipment operator 3 for equipment operator 2. If you look at the I need to double check that. That difference actually is a 3% difference. It's not the difference in dollars between the equipment operator 1 and equipment operator 2. It is the difference in the 3% increase, fiscal year 27, 3% increase. That's what they would be totaling up to. I apologize. Probationary employee, if we look at a mechanic, again, they're hired as probationary. They moved to mechanic 1, mechanic 2, mechanic 3. Again, mechanic 2 and mechanic 1 are kind of right at that 98, 99%. We have assistant foreman, they get 40 cents greater than what the equipment operator 3 is. And road foreman and shop foreman, their wages right now are $31.46 and $33.54. For moving forward, I guess I would like to propose that if we hire an equipment operator, I guess first let's say that our equipment operators are gonna be paid $28.35 in 2027. That would be that 3% increase. Equipment operator 2 would be defined as being 99% of equipment operator 2, which would be $28.09. If you just looked, or I guess, excuse me, it would be the 27 using 99% would be 28.06. The equipment operator 1 would be 27.78, and the equipment operator would be 26.93. If you look at, on the right-hand side, that's what is actual, which is again shown. I guess this is what I would propose paying them. Actually, $26.93, $27, equipment operator 1, $27.81, equipment operator 2, $28.09, and equipment operator 3, $28.35. But to move on in the future, using that 100%, 99%, 98, 95. In mechanic, I would do the same thing. What it would end up being, a mechanic 3 is $32.50. Mechanic 2 is $32.28. Mechanic 1 is $31.98, and the mechanic hired is $29.95. The assistant foreman would be $28.76. The road foreman, $32.40, and the shop foreman, $34.55. Since we do not have the contract anymore.
What's the difference between the road foreman and the shop foreman?
Road foreman would be Brian and Scott.
Okay.
Shop foreman is Nick Hoke, mechanic
Okay.
shop.
Okay. I'm just curious. I didn't know, I didn't ever know he was referred to as shop foreman. I thought he was just mechanic.
You're wanting our opinion on the scale, or?
Well, that's, I guess somehow we need to, the board right now has some sort of a way that they compensate other employees. We do not have a defined collective bargaining unit, the road department does not. I like the 4-step procedure that allows our road employees to get to equipment operator. So I would propose that we continue to use a 4-step approach, that somehow we set the equipment operator 3, mechanic 3, assistant foreman, road foreman, shop foreman, and then the equipment operator 1, equipment operator 2, mechanic 1, mechanic 2, they be a percentage of the operator 3 and the mechanic 3.
So I think from a structural standpoint, I think we can and should get a resolution prepared like we did for our other positions and the steps and lay that out. I don't know that it needs to be based on a percentage. I think we should just take what we currently have times 3% for the new fiscal year and just run those numbers across. But I think from a structure standpoint, we could easily get a resolution put together for the classifications the way they are and make that easy and consistent.
Do you want to keep the probationary employee the same for both mechanics and equipment operator?
is that what you propose?
No,
No,
Okay,
he proposed higher,
well, yeah, so no,
Yeah.
I mean, I think what you proposed is good.
I mean, the steps to get up to, I'm not, I mean,
Yeah, I could see changing the probationary for the mechanic because there is kind of a different pay band there, there's different responsibilities. I could see adjusting that one, but, I don't know why we wouldn't just stick with percentages for the other ones, I guess.
whatever, I guess I'm good with whatever the recommendation is to step up to that final
Yeah.
wage. I mean, I guess we kinda set the growth in that final wage, but
Yeah,
steps to get there, yeah, if you feel that's the best way, then
well, recruitment is difficult, and part of it, with the probationary wage, being low, that low and that, much lower than other, I want to, I want Kossuth County to be able to recruit good employees for the road department.
so this that you gave us, is this not what you think is good, or you think it should be higher, or what? I guess I thought you. this
Well,
is
right
what you
now-
were Wanting to do.
What this is just a scale-based wage. Somehow we gotta determine what the wages for the road department are gonna be.
Let me give this a shot and see if this makes sense. I'm not sure, this is the way I'm understanding you. You're not proposing anything radical here beyond the probationary wage. The others, there's just a small variance, and instead of it being an odd percentage, you want them to be defined as 95, 98, 99. Is that correct?
Yes, that makes sense to me. They get a percent,
Of the top wage.
yes.
Kinda
And
like a deputy would in the
And then in the
treasurer
future,
recorder.
so the only difference beyond the probationary thing, the only difference here is 3 cents in a couple of, well, the mechanic one is more than that.
Yeah, the mechanic, base mechanic, because, the probationary,
Right,
but that would move up, to 95% of what.
but when you look at the operators, basically what you're doing is instead of,
yes.
well, yeah, instead of being 98.110, you just wanna get to, in the future for it to be 98%, based on the,
I think it's more simple that way.
It is, yeah.
Mhm.
no argument, can't argue, I'd be amazed at how many mechanics you could hire for $32 an hour, I just,
It's difficult.
So do you want the probationary to be different from the mechanic, is that what you were asking?
I believe it would help.
Okay.
Well, and they look at that, that's the number they see first,
Mhm.
and they're.
And we had talked about raising the mechanic separately, but that hadn't gone anywhere yet.
We did $2 a couple years ago, you know, so
Be
that-
more substantial stuff.
right,
though.
right,
not that it matters, just for, if you go from probationary to the next step after 6 months, is that correct?
And a good review, yes. The probationary, I think, was an opportunity, in a collective bargaining agreement. There was an opportunity for, the county and the employee to understand each other, and the county could
Basically, it was a.
could do discipline and
No,
discharge
no fault.
without having any kind of contract language that would, tell the employee that he has rights from
mhm,
the, collective bargaining unit agreement. That is not the case anymore, without a collective bargaining unit agreement. There's not, call it a honeymoon, for lack of a better term.
Not what?
Honeymoon,
Honeymoon.
no honeymoon period that, you may or may not enjoy. But once, after 6 months, employees could become a member of the collective bargaining unit, or they were represented by the collective bargaining unit, and there were certain rights that they had, according to that agreement.
So if the probationary for the equipment operators is like roughly, I don't know, depending on if you want to round it to 94%. Would you want the probationary for the mechanic to be 94%?
I would, if it's 94%, it doesn't matter to me whether 94% of the mechanic 3, 94% of the equipment operator 3. It just,
You look over on the right, he's at 95.
Yeah. I propose 95%.
Oh,
Just
I'm
to-
sorry, I saw
No.
mechanic, I didn't see probationary, so I was.
Yeah, I
I'm
replaced the probationary employee with just a blank equipment operator
Okay,
and a mechanic, and then kept the equipment operator 1, equipment operator 2, and equipment operator 3. And the same with mechanic 1, mechanic 2, mechanic 3.
cool, what's to talk about, I don't care. Honestly, if you think that's fair,
Well, I think that's a structure. I will, fair is a,
I'm sorry. I mean,
yeah,
I
fair
like
is all in
on
the,
what you're presenting here, I
What-
think it
what-
looks good.
What,
Plus,
what-
they're gonna get longevity.
Yeah.
what's gonna, what are the odds, or I don't even know what the word I'm looking for, if they go back to a union?
I hope not.
I have no idea, you know,
I think they go to a union when they don't think
the
we're.
collective bargaining unit a few years ago when the state legislature, they stripped,
Essential services or whatever.
well, they stripped a lot of the bargaining,
Yeah, they did.
Except for law enforcement. I mean, that's-
mandatory and law enforcement, they allowed to keep. About the only thing that is negotiable is a wage, and when you arbitrate, you're limited even in the arbitration, the way that I understand it and remember it. You're really limited on what you can get per year, so I can't answer that as far as if there's a chance or not. This happens to be just some comparables that I've received from the County Engineers Service Bureau. First thing, the title up there, it says 2025 secondary road, probably should be fiscal year 26. I received these in December of 2025. But we have each county. Unfortunately, every county is not staffed, or they call each other positions the same. But there's superintendents, there are crew supervisors, there's laborers, there's truck drivers, patrol operators. This table is structured very similarly to the table that I presented with the annual reports. If you look at sheet, it'd be sheet 4, page 4 of 8. Crew supervisor, that is kind of what our road foreman would be. And if you look at that, you can see where our road foremen currently are $31.46 per hour. I hope that, yes it does, okay. You can see I put Winnebago, Hancock, Wright, Humboldt, Pocahontas, Palo Alto, and Emmett County all in there also if they have a, what they call a crew supervisor, a road foreman. The maximum dollar, this would be calculated because some counties put in salary, some counties put in wages. The calculated wages would be, if they have a wage, if not, it'd be what, divided by 2080. But the maximum is $45.80, the minimum for road foreman is $26.43, and the average is $33.05. just, something to allow the board to compare some things.
Is this all like cash versus benefits?
There,
Doesn't have any
this would be
benefits,
the hourly rate,
right? Okay.
so. I can certainly, I think I can put everything together and figure up some dollar amounts.
I didn't
That
need
would
that,
be-
I just wanted to make sure I was looking at the information the way it was presented.
If you go to sheet 8 of 8.
Can we back up just a second?
Sure.
I'm sure I missed something because I was looking and not listening. So when you look at page 4, and you look at wage versus calculated wages,
Yes,
they're identical, but at the bottom, when you look at the maximum and the minimum, the maximum one changes.
that would be because that salary of $95,264.33 calculates out
Okay,
to be, if you take that divided by the 2080, Howard, it'd be the $45.80. So
so, is it-
there's two ways that counties input
It's not a continuation.
these values.
uh,
Some of them are salaries, some of them are wages, so in an effort to
okay.
calculate or to compare apples and oranges.
So how is the, under wage, how is that one not $45? I don't need to know, it doesn't matter.
Well, if you look at page 2 of 8,
Okay,
in Lynn County,
hang on, let me catch up. I'm there,
Lynn County, their crew
4580.
supervisor is $95,264.33. If you divide that by the 2080, you get the $45.80 per hour calculated.
Okay,
Where just the wage input,
okay.
that happens to be Johnson County,
Okay, two different places, two different
$40.98.
places. Okay.
So
The maximum.
that's why the differences would be there. Good question though.
No, not really.
No, it wasn't. Getting back, I guess, to page 8 of 8, you can see where the road department, heavy equipment operator is $27.52 per hour. Winnebago, you can see Hancock, Wright, Pocahontas, Palo Alto, they have equipment operators, I don't know where Humboldt, to be honest with you, and Emmett, where they put those wages at, I did not study that. But, you can see the average for the state is $29.21, the max is $38.75, and the minimum is $21.02. I think our laborers may be a little bit under, that, as far as that wage. Shop manager, this is mechanic shop again. Again, calculated wages, we have some that are salaried, some are, worked by the wage. Kossuth County works by the wage, that is $33.54 per hour. The calculated wages, the high is $59.22, the low is $26.43, average is $33.63. So a little bit under there, and mechanic, $31.55. Again, the averages, the max and min, $31.20 is the calculated wages for that. So, information for you. Sheet 4 and 8 are kind of the summaries. Operators are first listed in there, mechanics are second. I guess I'd remind the board that these employees, they work in all types of weather, they get to work, and are out on the road, when they need to be. And with experience, everybody becomes more valuable to the county. As far as engineer, I'd like to just quickly go over a little bit with the board.
Well, I was gonna say, the reason Humboldt wouldn't have shop manager and mechanic is they don't have a mechanic shop.
They might not.
They don't, yeah, everything's done privately or through other entities or whatever, yeah.
So here's just the county engineers department, the staff, qualifications, the education that we have. And the experience. So it starts off with myself and, education I received, the assistant county engineer, transportation engineer number 3. He is a graduate of Iowa State. He's got a Bachelor of Science in Civil Engineering. He's got a Bachelor of Science in Housing and the Near Environment from Iowa State. He's licensed engineer, licensed land surveyor, certified at the Iowa DOT for all inspection on all kinds of construction projects, certified with the National Highway Institute for bridge inspection. Also trained in National Incident Management System certification. Our assistant county engineer, who is a transportation engineer training, is a graduate of Iowa State University. He's an engineering intern. He's got all the certification inspections for the Iowa DOT for inspection of construction. Our office administrator has education from Iowa Central Community College. She's certified for medical assistant radiology lab and also has education in office strategy and ethics. And our transportation engineer 2, assistant county engineer, has received a degree in civil engineering from Iowa State University. He's a licensed professional engineer and has all certifications for the Iowa DOT for inspection of construction. This here is presently how we have in the past tried to compensate office staff. You can see across the top and then down below the title. We have transportation engineer training, which would be a degree in engineering. Pay scale 1. If you go up to the top, that table there, pay scale 1, something between 50 and 60% of the county engineers' salary, and we'd have 10 steps over a 10-year period that a person would be able to move from 50 to 60%. Transportation engineer number 2, that's another another job classification and the same thing, just a little bit different type of how that person is. It begins at 55, and the different, it just has different information on there. If you look at fiscal year 27, this would be with a 3% increase. What happens is these people are no longer involved in a STEP program. Whatever step they were at, they get a 3% increase, and they no longer begin and end in any kind of there's no way for them to really move up a ladder as they gain experience, as they gain knowledge, as they become certified, and as they become licensed. They do not end up being rewarded. My concern here is recruiting and retaining employees. We have a large road system, we have a lot of bridges, We do an efficient job, and I would like the board to, I wanna make sure that the board understands this. For example, the office manager, here is a job description for the office manager for you to review. I think you'll find that the Kossuth County engineer's office manager is doing some of the very same duties that other people in the courthouse do. I think it's important to realize that the office manager, Kossuth County Secondary Road Department, they complete all the secondary road transfer station payroll claims. They're the drug and alcohol designated employee representative, and they also do a lot of just coordination with the drainage district requests for repairs, communication with the drainage clerk. The office manager is continually in communication with the treasurer's office, with the auditor's office, whether it be receipts or expenditures. This person is not just sitting at a desk answering a phone, taking messages.
And she does work 40 hours, right?
She works 38.
30 hours, okay.
Yes.
That seems to be better.
And this is just a history that I put together for over the last, well, for fiscal year 2022 to fiscal year 2026, which we're in right now. And this would be published wages that are acted on every July 1. But if you look at sheet 4 on this, some salaried workers that are also deputies in their office. If you look at fiscal year 22, and I'll go ahead and on line 424, that is the engineer's office manager. You can see that the compensation at that time was $48,500. If you look up, there were a couple people that were greater than that, but for the most part, 1, 2, 3 people were right at that same wage. And if you look at equivalent wage or wage per hour, if you don't look at salary, our office manager works 38 hours and the other offices are working 35. In fiscal year 23, there was an increase given to some of the deputies there. I'm sure it is well-deserved increase, but our office manager was left behind a little bit. Fiscal year 24, again, there was some increase, 65,000, 62,000, 66,000, 66 and 58. Our office manager was compensated at 55,000. And then last year, it moved up to 67,000, 65. Ours was moved to 57,200. It's gotten to the point where it's almost $10, and when you look at the wage and how much work is being completed, with 38 hours per week of working and 35 hours of working, there's almost $10 there, $9 that is a difference there. So it's quite significant. This is information coming from, again, the Service Bureau, so this would be other office managers with other counties. On the last page, this is similar to the previous data that I've given you, other than I do not have conditional formatting put on there, but if you look, the high salary, actually, office manager, there is reported a high salary of $118 per county there. The low is $27,647, the average is $63,802, and the median is $61,600. So our office manager is not being compensated. I think by looking at comparing within the county offices themselves and looking at other counties. And I hate to say this, but there are openings in other offices, and I don't want to lose Kossuth County Engineer's office manager to another office in Kossuth County because of the opportunity to have more money, make more money. So I think we need to do something there. Assistants, here are some job descriptions for our assistants. That's mine, sorry.
You really want me to have yours.
You can see when, this is just assistant engineers, so we've got assistant in training, we've got assistant transportation engineer, number 2 and number 3, they, general summary essential functions, as they get experience, they get more duties, we have more confidence. We expect them all to have Microsoft Office, Autodesk Civil software, no Iowa DOT software, Iowa DOT instructional memorandums. They gotta have on-the-job training. They are always, every year, it seems like they are reviewing so that they can either be inspection of bridges for the Federal Highway Administration, inspection of construction for the Iowa Department of Transportation. We're dealing with professionals here. So I think it's important to realize that. And then just, again, from the Iowa County Engineers Service Bureau, some comparisons. This is difficult because people are classified as assistant to the engineer, assistant engineer. There are some duplications in here. I did not have enough time to clean it up. I apologize for that. But if you look at the last sheet, you can see where the number of assistants, number of data points, there's 159 people. Transportation engineer 3 in Kossuth County, the rank is 17. The salary is $119,964. It's a little bit higher than the average, 30% higher, but it should be. It is a position where he has over 20 years of experience. He's licensed as a land surveyor. He's licensed as a professional engineer. He has qualifications. He's got education. The transportation engineer number 2 rank is 86 with 24, 81,224. Again, he's compensated, I don't know if it is enough, and the transportation engineer in training is, actually his compensation is a little bit greater than the transportation engineer. Number two, because of years that he's served in the engineer's office. And then, talk a little bit about county engineer. Here's data again from the
Sorry, my,
the County Engineer Service Bureau. This does have conditional formatting, so green is the highest, red is the lowest. But if you look, this would be, on the left is October of 2025, and it goes back every year of what wages were, salaries were. If you look at page 4 of 4, you can see in some of the formatting, I apologize, I got some dollars and some percents, I gotta get some things cleaned up on that. But there were, presently there's 92 county engineers. The highest compensated county engineer is $210,418.09 per year. The low is $97,219.20. The average is $147,563.83. The Kossuth County engineer's salary is $147,680, excuse me. That would be 70% of the high, 152% of the low, right at average, and right at the median. And if you look back, say this 2022, 2021, 2020, you can see where the Kossuth County engineer was right around 110% of average. And what has happened over from fiscal year 23, 24, 25, that has decreased to be about average. And I think it's important, I think it's Taylor County, just hired a county engineer, 0 years of experience, $170,000 per year. Potawatomi County fired their county engineer who had 20 years of experience. I think if you look at their Potawatomi, that last year his salary was $153,774.40. They just hired an engineer, no years of experience, $160,000 per year. If you look at, I need a map. There's other examples of new county engineers, what it takes to receive a county, the dollar amount that it takes for a county engineer to hire a county engineer is going up. Clay County is one where they just, actually 2 years ago, it was $125,000. Last year, it was $160,000. I think he got a $10,000 bonus for signing as well. This year it's $164,000. I think it's important to take that staff. Another thing I'd like you to look at, if you go back to the Kossuth County salary and wage history, you can look on line 34, that's the Kossuth County engineer. You can look at a little bit of the percent increases, that particular fiscal year 2022. Does everybody have that there? fiscal year 2022, the Kossuth County engineer received a 2.34% increase, others received right at 3%. The next year, county engineer received 5.34%, and other department heads received 5%, 6%. Then in 2024, the county engineer received 2.9%. There were department heads that received 12, 10, 25, 15. And even last year, county department head received an 11.6% increase. I'm not critical of these increases at all, but as some of those increases are being put out and you do not increase the county engineer, you fall behind on what to compare those other, as far as other county engineers in the state.
Okay, so I agree with everything you said, basically. Just trying to figure out, how to handle this in a way that we're not going back and forth. I mean, who should we start talking about as far as the wage goes, like Lisa? I mean, shall we talk about this? Let's talk about Lisa, because, I think I argued this a little bit last year and I didn't get anywhere, which is fine. But, so then this year we're probably that much further behind, so, I said before, used to be comparable to the wage of a deputy, in the other offices. When that goes clear back to Richard, Dolores still just goes back to all of them where they tried to make Trish and at that time Jane, I believe, or no, it might have been Jackie, I can't remember, but anyway, it doesn't matter, comparable to, each other. And, we got away from that. We got away from that. I think she definitely falls behind. Don't let me do all the talking.
Why, didn't you do?
I'm done. I think we need to make some adjustments. I think we should take it one at a time though, because otherwise we're gonna go back and forth a lot. So the office manager is very easy to talk about, I feel like.
Yep.
She's making 57,200, working 3 hours more a week. I'm making quite a bit less than. Maybe 10 to 12,000 less than all the others highlighted.
If you're comparing to a deputy in the other offices, you're saying, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're looking at the office manager salary is about 6,500 under the average, for county engineer office
Yeah.
managers as well.
Yeah, so it depends on what do we wanna look at? Do we wanna look at comparison within our own county or comparison with the
You could
state?
compare it how many different ways, yeah.
Yeah.
I guess one thing that throws things off very quickly for me is Polk with someone at 191, I mean, I don't know what the duties or responsibilities of that position are, but I think that's probably wildly
Changing
off
averages.
of what ours would be. Even Lynn County at 106,000,
Well, you're gonna have a few counties that just aren't even
you're gonna have.
on the same plan as us, but yeah.
I mean, at the very least, some of those metro counties, I think, should be disregarded to really find a true average.
Have been disregarded for other positions that we've looked at because, I mean, historically, you're gonna look at, if you look at the average of the wages of even the elected officials, guess what? Polk County's making a couple $100,000 if you're the, you know, so no matter what, you're gonna have that.
But even when we go to the compensation board, they're not comparing us to Polk County or Story County or any of those, we're comparing on population and valuation. Those
Factored into the
don't,
sheets though.
they're in the grand averages, but they're not typically what we compare to.
Okay, so then what do you wanna compare to then for the office manager? Because she's like 12,000 behind within her own county of other positions that are pretty similar.
And right, wrong, or otherwise, since I've been on the board, I don't know that we've really as a board looked at statewide averages for other positions in Kossuth County,
Well, that's
you know,
fine.
in detail. And I'm not saying we shouldn't, that's what I'm saying, right, wrong, or otherwise, I don't know. We have for other positions, so, and I'm not saying that we shouldn't for this, or should for this, or whatever.
How long has Lisa been the office manager?
She
I'm
has
just looking at
been
like your scale that
eight-
you have,
Wow.
8 years?
0.75 years.
Yeah, so she'd
Oh,
be
is that-
falling in she'd be the 8th step on your
Somewhere
scale.
seven to eight.
So,
yeah.
I mean, she's fallen, so if you use that scale compared to other offices, it's similar,
Yeah,
and she's way behind. She's, number 3.
for what? What sheet are
On
you
this
on?
I'm looking at this one, on this scale.
I got so many
If you
sheets of
look at-
paper.
Fiscal year 26, this is everybody receiving a 3% increase.
There. Towards the bottom of the pile, okay. Say that again, Amber.
Okay, so if you look at her scale, she'd be
Yeah.
in year 8, or well, almost 9,
Okay.
and she's only at year 3.
Step 3.
Step 3, yeah.
I knew what you meant, yep,
Yeah.
yep.
And she should be.
Okay, I see what you're saying, okay. If you're going by the step program that Doug had prior to whenever, yeah.
Yeah, but if you compare that to other, then if you compare it to this sheet, the last page, it's
Which one?
similar, this one, it's similar. I don't know what it's called,
Oh, yeah,
Kossuth County Salary and Wage
I'll believe
History, and I'm looking at page 404.
here we go.
Lisa's on line item number 424, and there's others that are 351, 352.
Wouldn't be all that far off.
No, it wouldn't be all that far off, so,
No,
I mean,
Okay, I'm following you, I just gotta piece my papers together here.
yeah, I just feel like, I thought this last year, I thought she was so far behind, and I thought that's just not fair. Doug, are the percent increases a little bit, and maybe it's on here, I'm sorry if it isn't, are the percent increases, like, say for office manager, going by your scale, a certain number every year? Or a certain percent, like 3%, 4%?
35, for the office manager, if you look at that table below, percent of engineer salary, it's 35% to 47%.
Okay,
do those
And-
percentages stay the same every year? Or have
Pardon
they-
me?
Those percentages, that 35 and 37 for the band, does that stay the
So,
same?
yes, there would be equal percentages between each step. So you would begin at office manager would begin at 35%. When they move to step 2, they would be 12 divided by 10, 1.2% greater. 36.2, 37.4. It's a 10 step that we have, but like I say, over the last few years there was a constant dollar amount provided. There was equal percentages, and what has happened is the people in the engineer's office are not being compensated to the STEP program that they once were. And the STEP program was something that I think allowed Kossuth County to be able to hire and be able to keep employees.
Doug, is this 57,392, is that calculating the 3% in?
Yeah.
That's what that
Right
number
now-
would be with the 3%?
Correct.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure.
What do you guys think?
Yeah, I'd be for looking at it and seeing what the board wants to do, but yeah.
Well, if you follow this from a, I guess, a number standpoint, if each person goes up or down a step, however you look at it, each year, and the engineer's salary increases, the percentage increases below that would be substantially more than what we've had as a target. So if you say 3% or 5% or 1%, they're gonna, those changes are gonna stack on themselves.
That's what happens in a STEP program. Again, I remind you that we're dealing with professionals. We're dealing with people that are being licensed as engineers, licensed as land surveyors. They are certified to do the inspection on all the construction that goes on in Kossuth County. They do the design work for Kossuth County. This is what happens in a consulting engineer's office as well. As you gain knowledge, as you gain experience, as you get more responsibilities, you're compensated more. And it's not the same as somebody, as others. I mean, that's the way it is.
So this year we said 3%.
Correct.
So then say next year, I'm just throwing a number out there, we say 5%. These numbers will be adjusted to reflect that because it's based upon your salary.
That's correct. It's
So
all a
you're- so-
percentage of the county engineer's salary.
So it's not necessarily that they're always going to get something different, they're gonna get the same as everybody else, it's just where it reflects on the scale and getting the scale to where you feel like it's more, they're at a place in the scale they belong.
I would always, I would look at the county engineers, service bureau, and try to make sure that, they are being compensated the same as other people in the county engineers service bureau. People that I know. I would talk to other county engineers and see how they are being compensated, how they are compensated, their office staff is compensated.
I'm all for looking at Lisa's or whoever's,
Yeah.
I mean, salary and wage and whatever, and making sure we're paying people. I don't wanna use the word fairly, cause I don't like that word when they're,
Right.
and, you know, it's never fair, but, depending on who you ask, but, I think maybe the issue is, the engineer's office had your own scale percentage of the county engineer, different, much similar to, say, elected official. I mean, even just regulatory wise, deputies are a percentage of your salary, that's not something,
Used to be that clerks were too.
is that so? But my
Yeah.
point was, either way, my point was, like, Doug has his own scale or system of percentages that is separate from what we're doing with the rest of the county. I mean, I think that's the struggle, is
But if
we're
it's-
trying to have two different systems here.
I'm sorry,
Yeah.
and I didn't mean to interrupt you, but like if it's based upon the wage increase that we give, say Doug, if it's based upon him, that should, even though he has his scale, that should still,
Right, but if we give everybody 3%, and Doug gets a 3%, Lisa's gonna get more than 3%.
But he said, he
No.
also
Right.
said that she has to have a favorable review, right? Isn't that what you said?
Correct.
No,
Like-
that's fine, I'm not saying I'm opposed to Lisa getting more than 3%.
No. But isn't that the same as like with the deputies? Like if Tammy gets 3% and her deputies are based upon her wage,
Right,
they're getting that.
but this is saying the
3%.
entire engineer's office is a deputy. That's all I'm saying.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I missed it.
Yeah, I mean, that's saying that Doug has 4 deputies. Right, wrong, or otherwise, that's just how we're looking at it then. That's what I'm saying, there's 2 different systems going on, in a sense, or a larger system maybe in one office, I don't know. If I'm explaining that right, but,
No, I
Is
understand.
there ever a possibility that multiple people would be on the same scale? Or,
Yes.
and the difference between those wages is based on years?
Correct.
I think we should check with our attorneys and see if that's in compliance with the law, because I don't know that it would be. When we had the conversation about longevity, I'm thinking there'd be some aspects here that would come into play.
Such as?
The only way you can pay somebody different in the same position is based on longevity or their years of service. This would have multiple pieces to that within the same position, the way it's laid out.
Depending on qualifications, for example, if a person became licensed as an engineer, a transportation engineer in training, became licensed as a transportation engineer, that would be going to a different title. Step 1. And there might already be another transportation engineer at step 6. They have not, yes, they have the same, they have what is necessary in order to be assigned the transportation. This thing came from the Department of Transportation, is where this came from. And I would think the Department of Transportation would be following the law. But if you'd like to talk to the attorneys, I'd be happy to join you in the conversation.
Kyle, I think,
But,
I'm sorry, Doug.
but their qualifications, if the qualification is to be a licensed engineer, and one is on step 5 and one's on step 1, I don't know what the difference of that is.
I think Mike's explanation was with the same job description. So in Doug's example, their job description is changing because their title is changing. So it would be a different job description, so they could have a different salary. Mike's reference was anybody with the same job description that does the same duties has to have that ultimate ability to make the same amount, with the only difference being longevity. But he's offering different titles with different job descriptions. Is that correct, Doug?
I gave 3 job descriptions for the 3 assistant county
Yeah.
engineers.
But there's.
One is an engineer in training, one is a assistant engineer, transportation engineer 2, and one's a transportation engineer 3, chief assistant county engineer. And I don't know, I think I'd be interested to be part of that phone call if you guys are gonna make that phone call.
I think it's silly to spend the money, especially when you just described the fact that you have 3 different job descriptions.
There's steps within the same job description, and that was part of the issue that we had here that we had to address, was the steps that we had.
Well,
It's only an issue because you made it.
the offices that you were discussing were not necessarily other offices in Kossuth County either. There are counties, there have been more than one county engineer in counties before. The code says a county shall employ at a minimum 1, but it can be more. And I'm just bringing this up because, again, if you, with experience, any employee in Kossuth County becomes more valuable to the county. That's all employees. And on the road department, I've been interviewing people for a long time, whether it's a retirement or whether it's a resignation. And some of the people that are resigning, they're good employees. They just get to be 3 years, 4 years, and they're knowing what is going on. But they're leaving because there's other opportunities for them. We just lost an engineer, took a county engineer position. It's difficult to find somebody that will apply for the job that has some sort of education in civil construction, civil engineering. At the last county engineers conference, I did have lunch with a student from Black Hawk County, and I gave him my business card. He did not have a job, but I'm hoping that I hear from him. I have not yet. Contractors and consultants are hiring the county engineer, or the engineers that are graduating from the University of Iowa, Iowa State University. They're hiring the techs that are coming out of the University of Northern Iowa. They're hiring the techs that are coming out of Des Moines Area Community College, Iowa Western, and Black Hawk. And those students, those graduates, are going to those programs because they're getting more money. We went over Kossuth County. Kossuth County is not average by any means. We're the largest county in the state. We have the largest road system. We're the largest area. When you look at how our dollars are spent on the road, or how many employees we have on the road, we're very efficient. We should be proud of that. The board should be proud, should be telling everybody that property tax You know what other counties are paying for roads? Not Kossuth County. It's not happening in Kossuth County. We're one of the lowest on those rates. But I know you guys get hammered about somebody's salary without even knowing that people are responsible for one of the largest road systems in the state of Iowa, and when you start looking at the dollars spent per mile, the property tax dollars that are being spent per mile are some of the lowest in the state. We all need to toot our horn. And we need to compensate the employees that are making that happen. And that starts with operators, foremen, assistant engineers, office managers, and the county engineer. And the board of supervisors. You guys are part of it as well. I'm very fortunate. I speak with other county engineers, and Tammy may have a different opinion as what I do, but I get along with the auditor very well. I've gotten along with every auditor.
You would believe what she says about you.
Yeah, she might not say that about me.
That's not true, I do see the same.
But there are
I do.
There are auditors that can't get along with treasurers. Treasurers can't get along with auditors. And it reflects on the work that is accomplished. And engineers, the treasurer's office, the auditor's office, the engineer's office, we're speaking a lot. We're researching in the recorder's office a lot. We're up in the assessor's office a lot visiting. I think we get along very well. Our office gets along very well with other people in the courthouse and the public. I certainly hope so. It's one of our goals. But I don't believe, I believe adjustments need to be made to secondary road employees' wages.
Without sounding like a smart ass, that's not my goal at all, but don't you believe every department's gonna feel that also?
Well, there's been some departments that have already received some.
I hear you, I hear you, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Mhm.
Definitely. Okay,
Well, coming back to,
let's talk about Lisa. Sure, can we maybe figure out Lisa? And then if they, I mean, or all of them,
We're
I don't
already
care.
at 4 o'clock,
We
how
are at
about we
4 o'clock.
digest some information and come back?
No, because we didn't get anywhere. How about we make a decision today for something on this? Because this is gonna just keep going. And honestly, it just is, and
I was all for longevity, and I still am, I mean, if that's gonna help retain, and everything. But it's gonna be hard, it's gonna be difficult to do what everybody wants to do.
With that change, Howard, I think there needs to be a change in the STEP program that the Secondary Roads Department, the county engineer has as well.
I mean, so should we not have done that?
No, I'm not saying that. I think together we need to come up with a solution.
So when you just, and I'm not butchering Lisa, that's not my goal at all, but, you know, she is an example, I didn't figure out what, but it's gonna be significantly more than 3%, it's gonna be more like a 4.5% raise that she's gonna get
Right.
year over year.
probably more than that because she was in the treasurer's office before she went.
Yeah, I just was looking at the 2 sheets that you gave us.
Well, we need to, I have not even looked at
And
the
that's not the
table
point.
using longevity, because part of that STEP program is longevity.
Yeah, and I'm not sure that that's the right point to make, because Yeah, like, I'm talking about me, I don't know, and I don't know, I just don't know, I don't know what's gonna give. And we walk out the door and we say, holy cow, insurance is this, and this is this, and this is that, and where's it all gonna come from, and we're only allowed this, does anybody in the room right now, and I know we're being recorded, I guess, but does anybody think we're gonna be able to do it all?
Right now, my budget, the revenue is not I did not increase any asking for property tax dollars. I kept the property tax dollars the same. I'm using some balance that's in reserve that is built up. Part of that is from FEMA. We've got some extra money from that. I need to look, I have not put together a budget with any more increase than what the 3% in longevity added. That's what I put my budget together as far as labor.
So, at the risk of insinuating you're using clever words, I'm not insinuating that, this is an honest question. So no more property tax dollars, or no more than what the valuations deliver?
No, the dollars stayed the same.
Dollars stayed the same.
Yeah.
It looked like general basic was.
Oh, excuse me, general basic, I kept the levy rate the same. I lowered the rural service. But general basic over the years, we have kept that at the max,
Yeah.
because,
Cause it's not enough.
well, everybody uses county roads. There are very few citizens, in Kossuth County that live right on a state road.
And even the ones that do still probably use county roads.
Correct, yes.
So Doug, let me ask you this, do you think using, I mean, with this scale here that you have and us saying that we're giving 5 cents a year for longevity, do you think that you can accommodate your list to include that?
I would certainly
Or
look
would,
at it
or
and try to.
or would you just have more of the wages and then the steps figured separately? Not steps, I said that wrong, longevity. Like, okay, here's the wage, but on top of that, you know, you're gonna get longevity. And each person, of course, is gonna be a little bit different.
Correct. I need to look at a few things. Let me
Well,
see.
and-
If the board is, I guess I wanted to provide examples over the last few years, some of the things that have happened as far as the engineer's office, from my point of view. And have discussion.
Yeah, we have to have the discussion. The longevity was important, I think, you know, an important piece. And especially too for some of your road employees, secondary road employees. That's gonna make a difference to some of them. And some that have been here a while,
Yes.
you know, so hopefully they do see that as an act of good faith to try and their wages better. But you gotta start at a fair wage.
So I guess when I look at your total budget expenditure worksheet, that's just over 13 million. Revenues and transfers looks like 11 3/4. So are you anticipating using $1 million and
Yes.
$1.25 out of your balance to support this budget?
What page are you on? Are you on revenue?
I'm on
Page
both.
5?
Expense page 10 and revenue page 4.
I'm estimating my balance at the end of this fiscal year to be $5,765,251.09. The lowest it would be right around 4.9, that would be, some of the revenues not even coming in the rest of the fiscal year. So I feel comfortable, using that balance for yes.
You're using the fund balance to offset having to raise tax dollars, well, not that we'd be, we're kinda limited anyway, but. Yeah, but either way, that's the idea.
What did you say that fund balance was again, Doug?
I would estimate it at the end of this fiscal year to be
You know,
$5,765,251.09.
That's exactly what I have. Do you wanna know what I estimated at the end of next year with what you've turned in?
Can you repeat the last three numbers of your estimate for this year? 5765.
25109 would be down to 4 million.
4.470146.
For
One, or 4470146.
I think if you look about 2 years ago, the balance was estimated at 193,000.
Yes, it was. I know, I was sitting in a crowd having a heart attack.
There were adjustments made to the secondary road budget that were, the county engineer was not involved in any discussion, which, I'll be honest, did not, I don't know why that happened. But over those same years, this is what's happened as far as compensation. We are being left.
So this $4,400,000 is what's left in the county's budget?
Will be at the end of,
Road department, secondary
yeah,
road.
road department at the end of 27.
That's a healthy fund.
And that's still healthy.
That's a healthy fund.
Yes.
And that's the big thing. That's still healthy.
Oops.
I think.
I don't know, guys, I guess, like,
And rural
No,
basic
Kendall.
is healthy too. I'm sorry.
no, that's fine. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No, I was gonna say rural basic looks healthy too.
Good.
Yeah.
Progress there.
The one thing I wanna say is, now did I interrupt you? Are you starting again?
Go ahead.
The one thing I wanted to say was, there won't be changes to your budget without you knowing.
Thank you.
There won't be changes to any department's budget without them knowing. We rely on our departments to run their offices based upon their budget, and if they don't know about these changes, then we're expecting, a lot. So that will not happen. That will not happen.
All I was gonna say was, I know we've got a couple of different cases with potentially wavering from that 3%. I know Kendall's got an office manager that he would like different than 3% as well. There's things we need to look at. It's been several hours of numbers and information. Wouldn't be a bad thing to come back and I'm not trying to kick the can down the road, that's not my intent. We also, just to think about, for Doug's office in particular, you know, how do we want that to look? Cause that's essentially what's being proposed, is that they're all deputies at a different percentage. In a sense, they're not actual deputies,
Yeah,
but they're,
well, in a sense, or, I mean, the ones that are lower, clerks. I mean, that's the way it used to be if you
Right.
compare it to like auditor, treasurer, recorder.
right,
You know, it used to be 85, 80, 75, 70, 65, 60. I mean, clerks started like at 50%.
sure.
And then they
When did that go
gradually
away?
make their, well, it kinda changed when we got the union, because
Oh.
then, you know, and then it went back, then when they dissolved the union, then it went to these resolutions.
Seems like the going back and forth between the union and not through the years just kinda
It makes it difficult,
causes
because,
discrepancies.
you know, then you look at, well, these people could be in the union, these couldn't be, and then.
Right, right.
Union might have gotten 0 and somebody else got 3, I mean, it just,
Mm-hmm.
it did. But the employees felt they needed to protect themselves from losing a lot,
And that was their decision,
and that was their decision at that time, so.
Yep.
So I think we just have to be fair. And we're elected to sit here, and we gotta keep our personal feelings for things out of the equation.
Mm-hmm. That's where I'm at, it's 4:15, I mean, let's come back and make some decisions on
Are you saying
Make a
Tuesday?
motion to
it.
adjourn.
Well, let's plan, when are we gonna do this again?
You tell me.
Next Tuesday,
What's next Tuesday looking like again? That was a long time ago.
I think next Tuesday,
I don't think
we're
it's
supposed
not.
to do morning only, cause somebody has something going on in the afternoon.
Mhm.
Oh,
So Tuesday, the 20th is morning only, we have Idell's saturated buffer project bid opening at 9, otherwise just regular stuff so far. So it's possible we could fill the morning.
do
with
a
some of
couple
that.
hours of budgets in the morning, that'd be alright?
Okay. And if there's stuff that comes up that's not mandatory, I can push that off till the next week.
Yeah,
Okay,
sounds good.
hopefully we'll have a little numbers from Wellmark too,
We will
at some point.
try to, yes.
Yeah, but, no, I appreciate the information, and yeah, we'll come back to it next week then.
Alright,
Will
thank
be
you
the
for
goal,
the consideration, we'll keep busy.
Okay,
Before we adjourn, can I ask one question that
I'll allow it.
okay, so, remember when we had Tammy send that email to Phil and Carissa, okay, and then they
Yeah,
got that
yeah.
together?
Yep,
Okay. Should we have Phil and Carissa each have something typed up for their needs, for the space, so that everybody's getting the same information?
yes,
Okay, that I don't think we did tell them.
okay,
I do think maybe we should give them direction to do that, because that would be important for all those architects to have.
If,
in their
yeah, if they
hands.
could put something in writing, that'd probably be good, I think, even if it was just the same general conversation that they could all get, that'd be fine too, but if somebody can't make it for any reason, they could get the write-up of it, so
Yeah, I think
a
that,
draft of operational needs would probably be fine.
you know, and
Yeah.
the space needs, you know, like, okay, X amount of ambulances, whatever it is, I'm not gonna tell anybody what to put in
Right.
it, but the needs.
yep,
So,
Should we have that brought to us first, or?
I guess I don't really care.
yeah, I'm not gonna tell them what they need or don't, but,
Yeah, I don't really care, just as long as we all have it that day when we're walking through. It'll help us look at it, and as we're walking through, maybe some things will spark some conversation
and separate the needs from the wants too, you know?
and the needs,
That's,
we
that's
need the
kind of what I
space.
wondered about us looking
Yeah,
at it, 'cause
the needs have to be for this space, the needs.
Right, there's always room for wants, but
Well,
what are the needs?
But the conversation's gonna go toward, I'm not, there's no arrows here, this is just realistic, especially with, I think especially with Phil, it's gonna, well, it's gonna be easier and more cost efficient to do this now than to do it in 5 years when
Right.
when,
Well, yeah,
I'm not, sounds like I'm making fun of him, I'm not,
I know what you're saying,
When
yeah.
Whittemore closes down, or, and I don't wanna name a town and get in trouble for naming a town, and we gotta do more, so, I don't,
honestly, maybe even a kind of current standpoint of, or current usage, current needs versus
Versus-
design needs and design wants, maybe even 3 categories, I
yeah,
don't know.
I don't,
as to what, here's how it is now, but we could see this in the future.
That'd be
And-
helpful,
And can we, I mean, there's enough space, but it's just the cost.
There's a lot, yeah,
It's the
there's plenty of
cost.
space.
Mm.
It's the cost.
Mhm.
and I'm really scared to see what that comes out at.
Yeah, and is it, I'll say it out loud in front of the camera and everything, is it a foregone conclusion? Is it, it's a question, is it a foregone conclusion we're leaving the hospital?
I don't think so.
I don't think so, not yet. But I don't think we can
I don't
conclude
think-
that until we know.
I don't think anybody could make a educated decision without
I
a
think-
ballpark number
Yeah.
or an
I think it would be an end goal,
analysis.
but maybe not a possibility,
And that's just
you know?
Well, and the numbers are gonna dictate
what's possible.
what anybody's willing to do. I
Yeah.
mean,
Right?
If it's,
No,
if
If
it's
it's
$1
the hospital or
versus
us
us,
or-
yeah, everybody involved.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I don't think anybody could write that in stone before you really see what it's actually gonna be. I mean, just like we had a conversation with the drainage stuff of engineer's estimate versus bids and construction, you're gonna have some variation there, but you're gonna have to make an educated decision based off of professional guidance, so, I mean, at least if we're all looking at the same professional report, we can say, is this worth pursuing? And if it's right on the edge of a gray line, maybe everybody says, okay, we're uncomfortable, but we do it, but otherwise, hopefully you have a better comfort level to see actuals or estimates.
Which is when we talk about the drainage and you talk about the coefficients, the 50% to 1 or whatever it
Half
is,
inch to
half
one.
inch to 1.
Beaver tails.
This
top one.
percent ever, so even 3/4, is there,
Okay.
is there, a
Might wanna look at the top.
consistent kind of thing, where
Right,
you
the other.
consistently always wanna go
That's
with the
under.
half, or certain drains might say, nope, 1 inch will be better here, is
So
there?
that's where Tyler said, the Iowa State recommendation with good surface drainage is half an inch for subsurface drainage.
Okay,
If it's poor surface drainage, they recommend 1 inch for subsurface drainage.
Okay.
So
it kinda depends on the
it's kind of
situation.
a subjective thing of, do you consider yourself to be in good surface drainage area or poor surface
Okay.
drainage area? And then anywhere in between.
And yes, and the odds that the guy on that end of the system and the guy on this end of the system are in the same situation are very remote,
Yeah,
or maybe next to each other.
and that's where I kinda talked about the topography changes things. If you've got a field that if we get a 2-inch rain, there's a gully cut through it by the course of quick natural surface drainage versus a field that's generally pretty flat and you just fill up the low areas, those are your geographical differences that fall into their different categories. So,
I was just curious about that, didn't really wanna ask it,
yeah.
Well,
you know,
yes, the person paying for it, half inch looks pretty good, and you look at the person that's gonna use it, 1 inch sounds fantastic,
yeah,
and, now there's a farming equation here, the person renting the farm out, unfortunately, there's not that much delineation between what the drainage is, and somebody's always just willing to pay it, and,
To some degree, yeah.
yeah.
Motion to adjourn,
second.
okay, who made the motion?
Who made the motion?
I did 5 minutes ago, so
Okay,
whatever.
Kyle made the motion. Alright, we got a motion second, and discussion? If not, all in favor of adjourning, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carried, we are adjourned at 4:24.
I will have to say, I did enjoy being part of that informational meeting.